Welcome into our first episode of No Cap SEC. How many caps? No cap.
No cap.
Welcome into the show, my boy SEC Mo.
What's up, bro? What's
What
up,
are you doing,
man?
my man? What are you doing, my man? Welcome
Man,
aboard.
I'm glad to be here, bro. No cap. No cap SEC.
Don't be
I
capping.
like it.
Don't be capping, man. You better be happy,
man. This is a no cap zone, baby. No cap. Unless it's a ball cap.
There you go. I see you sporting your Arkansas gear for tonight.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into a couple of things for this first episode. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see how many people we got in here so far. Say hello to the gang. Mars Jams, what's up? Everybody, check in as you come in. Make sure you wipe your feet and hit that like button. We're excited about this new show for everybody. We're gonna talk a lot about what we had. Kind of Brian Sandlin, welcome in. We had obviously the FanDuel win totals came out last week. You got a lot of them that are kind of all over the place. And, we just, I feel like we should probably jump in here and give our projections as to what we expect. We got Coach Eyes on here as well, and we'll kind of run through them. First thing I kind of wanted to talk about, though, and it's kind of a funny thing, the way that it kind of got presented, too. What's up there, Hank? Good to see you, Hank. Brian Sandlin. And then Mars Jans, our boys. Let everybody know you guys are in here. Go share us with the crew. Let everybody know we're here. Hey, man, so it was funny. Apparently, it got leaked out from Texas. And imagine this, that there will be a 9-game schedule for the SEC starting in 2026. Yeah. What were your initial thoughts about that? And then I just kind of thought it was funny that already here comes Texas doing the talking.
I mean, are you asking me, man?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I mean, for me, I thought it was like, it's not a big surprise, especially with the big push toward the 12-team playoff. Right. I mean, I feel like it kind of fits the brand of where college football is going. A lot of infighting for the most part, man. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed in the SEC, bro. Especially with divisionless football. I mean, it's just going to be the luck of the draw. Whatever schedule you draw for that year, you can't hide from it because, I mean, you're playing pretty much an SEC slate for the majority of your season. There's no hiding from it, man. I'm not surprised by it, man. What do you think?
I'm not surprised by it. I think that it almost passed to starting, like the year after the Oklahoma and Texas came in. From what we understood, they didn't vote it in last time at the SEC meetings, but I think it was by like 1 or 2. And Texas and Oklahoma didn't vote. They would have voted for that 9-game deal because the way it's set up is like a 6-3-3. So you play 6 opponents every year, you switch between 6 opponents. There's 12, and then you got your 3 all the time ones, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the thing that I think that is the biggest reason I felt like it was probably going to happen, right? Because there's a lot of old rivalries that they want to preserve.
Yeah. I mean, for example, a lot of people may not think about Arkansas when they hear the name Texas, but Arkansas Texas is a huge rivalry, all the way back to the Southwest Conference. Mm-hmm. Then you got the Red River rivalry, which is, of course, a classic every single year. Then you got the Iron Bowl. Then you got these manufactured rivalries with Arkansas and Texas A&M, Arkansas, Missouri. Though, nobody really cares about those. I mean, if you're an Arkansas fan, if you're a true-bred Arkansas fan, you feel like LSU is more of a rival than Missouri would ever be. And LSU may not think that way. Are there any? I got a quick question. Are there any other rivalries for OU fans that you think would be significant moving into a 9-team SEC schedule?
I mean, say that again.
Do you think that there are any other OU rivalries within that can be rekindled that ever were in the SEC with SEC teams?
I think most Oklahoma fans were kind of hoping that they were kind of hoping that it would be Arkansas, possibly, or maybe A&M or whatever. From what we saw from Ross Dellinger before, and they never made this official, but they were talking about making it Oklahoma's never going to be separated from Texas. A&M doesn't want to play either one of them every year, but they're going to play Texas every year. You know that.
Yeah.
Texas is probably going to play Arkansas every year from what we can tell. And then it looks like, A&M and Oklahoma. So they'd be stuck. But here's the thing. I think that OU Florida, that's what the High Top's saying here. And welcome in, everybody. Glad everybody's in here. Just my damn opinion. Shawty, Chicken. Yeah. And OU Florida was going to be one, according to Ross Dellinger, along with Mizzou and Texas. That would be Oklahoma's.
Yeah.
What were they saying about Arkansas, though? It was Arkansas, Texas, and then
Arkansas, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri.
Right.
Then we got the Southwest Classic with Texas A&M at Jerry World every year. And then like a far off back in the day rivalry used to be LSU, man. But the biggest rivalries for Arkansas automatically are Texas, and I would say I would say Missouri right now. You know what I mean? Just because it's the Battle Line rivalry, and because all the petty stuff Drink is doing to Arkansas right now, man.
Oh, and it's rubbing off on the fans. They're all petty. There's no doubt.
Oh, absolutely. I think that Missouri fans are gonna take on the personality of Drink and be very annoying, bro. Like to no end. Yeah, like, it's gonna be terrible.
They talk all kinds, bro. 9 conference is the birth of super conferences. Only 2 conferences will matter in the end. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where it's headed, and that's when we start talking about moving into this, I think they want to preserve the rivalries, but I think they also want to make sure that you have really good matchups every year. With Florida, they always had one. They're never going to get rid of the one with Georgia. Georgia can't get rid of the one with Alabama. With Auburn for sure, because of the fact that that's the oldest rivalry in the South. They're probably not going to take away the Tennessee one, I wouldn't think either. Right?
Does Tennessee have any other rivalries other than what Georgia's one, right?
Florida's
one?
Yeah. Florida, Kentucky was one, but I think it's pretty much Alabama, Florida, and then Georgia, right?
I think so, man. And Chicken said before Arky can be a rivalry, don't they have to be relevant? And that's my point, man. That's why some teams may think of Arkansas as a rivalry during a good year, but like right now, nobody cares. Arkansas is like Vanderbilt right now. Nobody really cares about Arkansas, and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, and at the moment they're not looking real good. They looked good a couple of years ago, but they just seem to underachieve the last couple of years, and I think that. Right now, you even said yourself, it doesn't look like they're gonna.
No,
they're probably gonna have a new coach mid-season or something. Depending on how it starts out, right?
Yeah, I don't anticipate Arkansas doing much of anything this year, man. And we'll get into that when we go over the predictions for the season. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I just think based on everything that I'm seeing across the board. From teams like Missouri and NIL and Texas A&M getting that huge donation, Ole Miss in the transfer portal with their NIL. I just feel like there are so many things working against Arkansas right now. Our basketball team is trash. You know what I mean? Like it's just a bad combination of things for Arkansas right now. And I feel like the only thing that can save Arkansas sports and have fans excited about going into the season is going to be a decent baseball season. Like the Omahawks have to show up this year, man.
Right. I understand that. So with this, obviously, I think they're moving towards. To me, it looks like that they're moving towards that 2 big ones. 2 big conferences. They're going to end up taking over. They're pushing for this 7-5 playoff for the 12 team to where it's 7 at large.
I was going to ask you, bro. I was watching Josh Pate's show the other night, and he was saying that there may be a push for a 16-team playoff. Now, they're going to let the 12-team playoff settle in and get the dust knocked off of it. You know what I mean? It won't be such a shiny new toy for everybody to enjoy. But he's saying that they're trying to push for a 16-team playoff pretty soon.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of that.
26 is what it's looking like that's going to happen.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that the 9-team SEC slate is kind of right in line with that. Yeah, and that's what I was going to talk to you about, man. I feel like the 9-game SEC schedule is playing right into that 16-team playoff that they're projected to have after they establish the 12-team.
Yeah. Well, and what Shorty says, rivals won't matter. They do matter. No. I think they're gonna keep some of those together, man. And the thing is that you get to play the way that the SEC, at least from the outside looking in, has been over the last forever. That you've had these since even when you added Mizzou and Mizzou and A&M. A&M's played Georgia once or something like that. I mean, it's weird the way that the scheduling works, that a lot of teams don't end up playing. The beauty of this one is with the 3-6-6 model, you get your 3 permanent rivals, you get your 6 1 year, the other 6 the next year. So you're playing everybody within a 4-year period. That's a big deal, I think.
That's you will have
deal. You will have been in every stadium in the SEC in a 4-year period that way. I like the way that works out. I like the way that works.
I do too, man. And like you were saying, man, I don't even remember an A&M Georgia game, bro. I really don't. And that's huge.
I think they did it early and they hadn't really, but it's once in 10 years.
Yeah. Even when you think about Alabama, man, Alabama is not going to, does Alabama play LSU this year? Or does Alabama play Georgia this year other than the SEC championship, which we would all assume?
Alabama does play Georgia for sure. I know. I'm about to pull up that schedule, but yeah, they definitely do play them.
But Alabama isn't playing a lot of teams this year, man, and a lot of teams are going to get a breath of fresh air because of that.
Right. Well, here's what you have. You've got. Let me just share it here. Take this one down. Okay, so with Alabama, let me take this off of here. I'm gonna go a little bigger here.
Oh, you got the big board up.
The big board.
I like it. Oh man.
Let's see if I can get rid of that. There we go. Better. All right.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
So with Alabama, you've got that's not what I was trying to do. Okay. Yeah, so they're playing Georgia, Texas, or not Texas. They're playing Georgia and Oklahoma. They also obviously always going to have Auburn. Yeah, they still play LSU. That's not going anywhere. It looks like they will have 1 year that it won't be off if it's not going to start till 26. There is going to be a hiatus in some of these rivalry games.
Yeah.
Because they always play Auburn, but if they're not going to this till next year, they'll have to switch that.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be playing everybody every 2 years in these first two. So I mean everybody was going to get a crack at Oklahoma and Texas, essentially, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm looking at this. Yeah, I'm looking at this schedule, man. I mean, you're right. Alabama doesn't play Auburn.
Well, they do play Auburn. They play them at the end, but next year they won't.
Oh, it is.
They'll play Texas instead of Oklahoma next year. Georgia won't be on their schedule next year. Tennessee won't be on their schedule next year. So LSU and Tennessee and Auburn, who have basically been their rivals for the last 10 years or so, it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So pretty wild, man.
Man, just looking at this schedule, man, I can't wait to get to these win totals, bro, because I'm seeing some stuff, light. Right? I'm seeing some lightweight schedules, man.
Well, here's a question I got for you. With this new, when it goes to the 9-team, do you think we'll get to hear the end of the SEC don't do nothing but go and play a cupcake in the freaking end of the year, blah, blah, blah. And, never mind the fact they run it through the gauntlet, but,
Yeah. I do, man.
There's not as many cupcakes in the freaking SEC as there are in some of these other conferences. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I feel like in the SEC, man, It's any given Saturday, bro.
See, I knew it was coming.
Just get rid of Tuskegee State and Prairie View Agriculture in November and play interesting conference games. Come on, man.
That's what's going to happen.
That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Here's the thing I would say about that though, Mo. Some of those games that look, I don't want them to get rid of and just go to a straight conference schedule. I heard that this morning on I think Crane and Company were talking about it.
Really?
I don't want to see them just go to a conference only schedule. And
that's going to be tough, that
concept, because if they do that, some of these smaller schools are going to end up, their football programs are going to fold. These HBCUs and some of the FCS schools, they rely on that money.
That's a fact. And like I said, you got a Western Kentucky coming in, a South Florida. Those teams, like you said, a Mercer, all those teams are dependent on that paycheck. You know what I mean? That's a pay for a butt whooping play. You know what I mean? So you got to think about it. If they lose that couple $1 million injection annually every single year, that's a huge blow, bro. And like you were saying, man, I think that what was it? Was it UAB that folded up a couple years ago that just came back? Yeah. So teams like that are gonna hurt tremendously, bro. I say even with the 9-game SEC slate, bro, you have to fit in a Mercer, you have to fit in a Furman, you have to fit in some of those teams somewhere to keep their programs alive. Now, on the flip side, let's say we go to a group of 5 after they do establish the 12-team/16-team playoff. At that point, it would be a different story because they would have their own pay schedule and structure as far as what they would get paid out from the revenues of the entire conferences. So, wouldn't it be similar to what the SEC is doing right now as far as their TV deals and stuff like that?
Yeah. I think it's important though. I think that it's gonna happen. Now, here's the deal. I think that once the TV deals are gonna be what they are, but one of the original reasons that the SEC didn't approve it, according to them last year, was because they were trying to get more money out of ESPN for playing in the extra conference game. Yeah. Which I understand, but it's like nobody wants to hear that right now, right?
Right.
And OSU instead of Maine, hey, look, here's the thing about that. The OSU game would always be on the table. That's Okie Light Mike. Mediocre Mike not wanting to play that game because of his record, and you already know.
So what they're saying is they want to see a 9-game SEC slate in addition to an added Big Ten team.
I'd love to see it.
That's brutal.
On the way, coach.
That is brutal.
Brutal. Right? Brutal. Yeah, hold on just 1 second. Let me send this to coach.
Okay.
Just to jump in. All right, coach, there it is. All right. Maine actually wants to play OU. Yeah, well, that's the thing. But yeah, Okie like Mike don't. And that's the whole deal with that thing. You know what I mean? It's until he decides to, and he's got such a bad record against Oklahoma that's why he doesn't want to. You can't really blame him.
Right.
But it is what it is, It is what it is.
But I like the 9-game stretch, man. I feel like it's going to be a very competitive season. I think it's going to give a lot of teams opportunity to either shut up or put up. You know what I mean? Especially teams like Ole Miss. They're on the upswing right now. Mississippi State, you got Oklahoma. You know what I mean? All of these teams are going to have an opportunity to play or shut up. You know what I mean? I'm just concerned about the teams like Vanderbilt. I just don't know if they're going to be able to survive. I'm not even sure if.
They're grandfathered in. It would take a lot to get them out.
Yeah, man. It's just going to be brutal, man.
Welcome to the show, the coach.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, guys? What's up, Jason? What's up, Mo?
Man, sitting here talking about some SEC scheduling, Coach.
Yeah, I've been listening in.
What's up, man? I thought it was y'all were headed out for the night.
Well, we did. We went, and she tonight was my daughter's birthday, Mo. Her 30th birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday!
Happy birthday to Miss Ellen.
And I'll tell her. we actually, her choice of where she wanted to go eat dinner, and you'll never believe what she chose. She chose to go to oh God, what's the name of now the name has escaped me. Little Louisiana cooking place here.
Is it Copeland's?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but it's what's it called? I'll
How
think
do you
of
know
it,
there
man.
was one of those places here?
Well,
bro?
it's that it's not even real stuff. I'll think of it in a minute and y'all will laugh, but that's what she wanted. So
yeah.
And guess what she had to eat? French fries.
Wow. Of all the choices.
Yeah.
You can get fries anywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway.
It's her birthday. Yeah, it's her birthday.
Right.
So
her choice.
Get what she wants. Yep.
That's right.
So, coaches, you were listening to us. We were talking about they're going to add the 9th game. It's unofficial, but it sounds like it's pretty much. Of course, Texas had to make sure that they leaked that out.
Yeah. Texas had to be the one, right?
Yeah, Chris Del Conte made sure to bring that up that they were going to do that. And
Texas got to be the cool ones.
I know, right?
They're already trying to run the conference, man. It's already.
Orange down, baby.
What's new?
Let's throw them all down.
What's new?
Let's throw that down, man.
Get them all down, baby.
Get
them all down.
That's all we do. F Texas. Anyway, here we go. But no, I'm glad we won the 9 game. We were talking about.
Here's my horn sign game.
Here we go.
You know what that means, right, Mo?
No, sir, I don't.
F Texas.
Oh, well, there it is. I'm right along with that.
Okay. I thought it was something else. But no, but I think that the good news is it's going to preserve rivalries. The other thing is that they ought to now the rest of the country can stop with that. They play that cream puff at the end of the year before rivalry week or whatever. Yeah, they also play the conference schedule in the country, but nevertheless. I guess the last question I would have for you guys is this. What do you think comes with, and this is something we've kind of discussed on this show a little bit, do conference championships go away, Mo? Particularly in the SEC, especially now, because look at the way you're going to be jockeying for spots. I feel like if you get a bunch, if you get like a tiebreaker for let's say number 2 and number 3 are tiebreakers to go into the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they didn't play each other. Who cares? Whatever the tiebreaker is, it feels like to me you're probably in better shape if you don't get in that game. If you don't win the conference title, right? If you're the number 2 and you get in, you win the conference title, it's going to help you. If not, you got 2 extra games instead of 1.
Well, I
get a bye pretty much for number 3.
I'll let Coach. If you want to answer that first, Coach, I mean, you go ahead, man.
Well, I just think with the direction everything's headed, guys, I think it's a simple answer. I think conference championships go away. I mean, they're not going to mean anything.
Right.
Or I'm not going to say anything. It means something, but what it means as far as the bracketing,
a lot of
and so
games,
forth.
a lot of games, and on top of that. It's almost like you would get, if you lose that conference game, it's basically getting punished for being number 2, whatever your tiebreaker was.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I agree. That's why I think they go away.
And that's essentially what was happening in the SEC all along. I mean, you have, let's say, a 1-loss Georgia or a 1-loss Alabama that didn't win the SEC championship and then maybe missed out on the college football playoff. You know what I mean? That's essentially what was happening. I think that conference championships go away because ultimately you have to have a 1A, 1B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way around it. I mean, if you have a championship game, then ultimately
for the Big Ten. I mean, and they even have more teams. So you got to figure. I mean, it's still gonna. I imagine they're gonna go to a 9-team schedule, but especially now that you see the SEC going to a 9-team schedule.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I think everybody likes the game. I know it's a moneymaker, but is it gonna make as much? To me, it almost feels like. I don't know. It almost feels like it's
You're going to see it in the playoffs anyway. There's a chance.
Yeah,
there's a good chance you're going to see it.
At this point,
you've already played them once in the year, and there's no division. So let's say the first and second, the top two, they played each other, and one of them won. Well, then they kind of deserve that regular season championship anyway. I mean, you can call it however way you want. I like championship games as much as anybody. But
I was gonna say, man, at this point, with everything that's going on with the investigation with Tennessee and the NCAA, it seems like the SEC and the Big Ten are starting to break off anyway. There's been a lot of talk about the SEC and the Big Ten creating a committee, an oversight committee that is going to pretty much establish the new rules and regulations for college football moving forward. And all the SEC is going to do is the NCAA is going to be the enforcer of those rules. Abiding by the NCAA is going to be pretty much a thing of the past in the next few years. So every other conference, every other existing conference in the nation is going to have to follow suit with what the SEC is doing. If the SEC is going to have a 9-team
the Big 12 teams already, and the ACC, they've both added teams to their mix. So they've both got, I want to say, the Big 12 is at 16. They were going to be at 12 again anyway. So they're at 16. SEC's at 16. I believe that's where the ACC is at as well, starting next year.
But then you got Clemson and Florida State trying to get out of the ACC.
Correct. And then you've got those other two schools trying to get into a power conference too. There's a lot to talk about with that. And I don't want to dig into all of that stuff tonight.
But with that being said, guys, we've all, and just with that conversation that you're talking about, but we've been saying this all along. Where are we headed ultimately here? And that's two conferences and that
are running everything. I don't think there's going to ever be two conferences only. I think that here's the thing. I don't believe that the big conferences really want to add a whole lot more. I know that the Big Ten would love to add Notre Dame. I think SEC would as well.
Yeah.
I think that the SEC would like to add Clemson, maybe Florida State, maybe Miami or something. And you keep hearing Virginia, North Carolina. They might add a couple more. And I think that's probably going to be the max that the Big Ten wants to add too. They don't really want to get a whole lot bigger because then they're depleting their money. It becomes diluted for them.
So, Jason, do you see how many conferences do you see down the road?
I still
3, 4,
at least three.
Yeah, I agree with 3, but that takes us, and the reason I'm bringing all that up is just to take us back to the conference championships. I mean, again, I think that's just another reason you don't have a conference championship.
Correct.
When you have 3 conferences. And to answer Shawty also, Shawty, that's not no, it's not that they're not important, but they're going to be diluted. It's not.
I think if anything, what are you saying at the end? The NCAA will be separate. That's where I see it making the biggest change, Coach. I think they're going to have a division for the big boy championship.
Okay, there you go.
And then it doesn't really matter what conference you're in because, we just lost him.
I had to jump in the chat.
Yeah.
Now I can talk back.
I think that what's going to happen though, and he must have just did that on accident, but there he is. We lost you there, Coach.
I know it.
Hit the wrong button.
I'm over here jacking around trying to get my chat to work.
Somebody likes my hat.
My thought is that you're probably does Notre Dame join the Canadian League. You knew chicken and we're going to get started on you.
Hey, before we go into the conference, yes.
Yeah.
Right. The thing is I believe that they don't really want to change anything up. The Big 12 is trying to stay alive. I think if they did go to two conferences, it would then it's so big that it would probably shake out pretty much the same way that the old conferences were as far as who you play every year, right?
Yeah.
It'd go back to a regional thing, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. I think that particularly when it comes to the Big Ten, I think USC, UCLA, and Washington and Oregon are going to hurt from that. That's a lot of big trips. The worst thing, I think that what Shawty was saying there too, the other sports, they ought to keep those other conferences as they were, because a lot of the sports, like the Pac-12, for instance, all their Olympic sports and all those non-revenue sports, a lot of them could end up going away. That's a lot of damn trips.
Yeah, it is.
Across the country. It's one thing for the football team to do it, and I think they're going to struggle with it. We know Lincoln Riley's going to struggle with it. They don't like the cold. Soft ass.
I mean, even if they did go 2 big conferences, they're going to have to expand the playoff. I mean, it'll be similar to
16 though. Why would it?
16.
Oh man, I mean,
there
are going to be way too many teams that miss out. But to that point, you will have to pay. You will at that point you will have to eliminate those Mercer, those UAB. You'll have to eliminate those cupcake games, because you'll have way too many players. I mean, way too many teams to play in your conference. I mean, with a 20 team conference, I mean, you literally have to play all your games in conference, bro. I mean, it would just be impossible not to.
Yeah, I think that it's got to. I don't know that it changes that drastically. I think that
I don't think so either.
Subdivision where they keep the conference as is. I don't think that you only want to play conference games. That in the end, that ruins a lot of. Professor was talking about it in here a few minutes ago. That they like it that. He's a Florida guy. He loves it that they're playing Florida State and Miami. And I think they're playing UCF too. So, they're getting all those, and that's cool. If Mike Gundy ever stops being a little weak sauce so-and-so or leaves, then Oklahoma and Oklahoma State can play again. There's no reason why Bedlam shouldn't. It's been played for over 100 years. I understand that they hate getting beat, but that's really all it is. But I think that it's going to be, they're going to lose money by doing that. And they can't afford to lose money with the way things are, the separation between Big Ten and SEC money and the other money. It's not close to the same shit. Notre Dame has a similar contract, but Notre Dame's different. Mm-hmm. They can do it on their own,
They've been doing it on their own for years, man.
And I tell you what, guys, truly, and I mean, every little bit helps when you're the institution of higher learning like that. But I tell you, at the end of the day, Notre Dame doesn't even need the damn contract.
I gotta ask.
They do have a large endowment, indeed, and a large endowment. Yeah. I get it, man.
Multi-billion.
Yeah. It's like they said something like 30 billion or something like that. The last I heard. That's not supposed to be used for athletics, or at least not according to them. But
not right now.
The built-in cake games. Who are we talking about? Hank, were you saying basically like you're talking about the cupcake game at the end of the year before they play a conference?
I'm just interested to see who he's going to say, because it could easily be OU one day, one of those cupcake games. Hank,
who's going to be a cupcake?
I knew Jason was going to have something to say.
Oh man! Oh, here comes. Hey, you guys are coming in for Notre Dame today. Coming in for Notre Dame. If, as a Notre Dame fan, let me ask you this: if it comes down to it, and I think it may, that they're going to probably make you join the conference. What conference would you prefer, the Big Ten or the SEC?
Well, I don't think it's so much what we would prefer. Question. I don't think it's so much what we would prefer. I think it's so.
I don't think it'd be a bidding war for Notre Dame.
I think it would be more so the fact of where we set regionally, and I think that takes us to the Big Ten.
That makes sense. But that doesn't mean that the SEC, and it doesn't mean that Notre Dame wouldn't probably rather go to the SEC because they hate Michigan.
I think they would rather. Yeah. Well, they've already been screwed on this going to the Big Ten before. Because it was close.
They kept them out. That's it. Yeah, they kept them out. Yeah,
and kept us out. So I think they would rather go to the SEC. But I think when you sit down and you look at the economics of it all for them, it would make sense unless unless they're going to get a lot more money in the SEC. But like I said, money I don't think is the driving force at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say the Big Ten.
I think that they should play it. They should play. I mean, I think it's a more easy fit, but I also think that the SEC's cutthroat enough that they'd be like, to hell with that.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah,
they could be.
Well, yeah, it would be. That would make it a bidding war. But I mean, the most TV money isn't necessarily even there. Believe me, they would work some stuff out to get them. I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt about that. No doubt about
For
that.
sure.
Anyway,
Notre Dame has been ducking competition since their existence. Makes sense why they would choke.
You know what?
You gonna take
say
that coach?
Say what you want to, Bagman. Are you a Sooner, Bagman?
Who is that?
Who
is that in his picture?
He's a Sooner fan.
What was y'all schedule last year? Were y'all playing all the big dogs? Were y'all playing all the big dogs last year?
Before you get to talking too much about that schedule anymore, Coach, they're playing in the SEC this season.
And that's why this season, we're not talking about this season. We're talking, I mean, if you want to throw mud, get ready for mud to come back. Not you. I'm just saying.
And I can't wait to see this highly touted OU defense in full action.
It's coming
with this SEC slate.
It's a tough slate.
2024.
It's a tough slate. And we can go ahead and move into that other stuff.
Let's get into it, man.
And one thing I will say is I think that I'll just end it with what I feel about the Big Ten. I think it's probably going to happen in the Big Ten because of regionality, not to mention most of your rivals that you play all the time are Big Ten schools. If you go to a 9-game schedule, you may not get to play all those guys every year. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that that'll help it to be able to do that. All right. Yeah, you guys got him all wound up. That's the way to go. Way to go. Get Coach all.
I promise I'm not wound up. Okay, because I tell you what, I'll tell you this, guys.
Wow.
You really need to go back and look at the similarities. As much shit as you want to talk as an OU fan. You want to go back and really compare Notre Dame and OU, and you can go to recruiting. You can, you can go right straight down the line. Any comparisons you want to make. And I will tell you this, what I have found is we have a lot of damn things in common.
Yeah.
Very close in almost every
Natty's, Heisman's.
Almost, down the line, it's incredible from past to present. And I keep saying, Dad gum, and I'll be honest with you, just like you guys would be excited to play us, we'd be excited as hell to play you guys. I think that would be a fun ball game.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that right now the trajectory looks similar, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I think the trajectory looks similar. I would say that I like certain places with OU more. I like certain places with Notre Dame more though too. So, as far as particularly offensive line, it's that kind of stuff, at where you are right now. But I think the physicality part of it, the way that they're going to play is very similar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that they're kind of they're kind of fighting for that same position at the moment for the CFB.
It's eerie scary. I'm telling you, when you really sit down and start looking at it, it is eerily scary of how, we're both trending in the same way. And even from head coaches to, the whole ball of wax.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Who do I think is a better fit for the Big 12, NC State or Pitt? Probably NC State. I think Pitt wants nothing to do with the Big 12. Although, I don't know. We're gonna.
Let's be honest.
What ends
Let's
up
be honest. The last time anybody cared about Pitt was when they had Jordan Addison, bro.
Yeah. Our boy JJ would hate hearing you say that, but but I do think that they're struggling right now, but I think that where they are, they're a Big Ten type of school that feels like and they'll never get the Big Ten just because of Penn State.
Yeah,
and I just don't think that it's really going to happen, right? I don't know, but here we go. Let's talk about this though. Okay. Where this is,
Bagman. Hey, Bagman, let me say something here. You know what? Give me some information I don't fucking know. Okay. I'm done.
It used to be a beast back in the 70s. You're not wrong.
Well,
I think for whatever reason, they don't want them there, right? For whatever reason, they don't want them in the Big Ten. I think that they would probably, I don't see them getting into the SEC either, but because really they're clinging to the ACC. And I think that, to be honest with you, NC State would probably do the same, because aside from those few teams, and they've added all these other teams, they're trying to stay alive. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that you get more than 4 out of there either way. You know what I mean? I just don't know. But anyway, we'll see kind of what happens. Hey, let's talk a little bit about this. Coach, we were talking about the FanDuel came out with projected SEC win totals. I was asking you earlier, so I'd only have the graphic made for you, but you can pick with it and you can decide on where we're at. But when you start looking at, let's see where it is. Let me pull that up. They have I'm going to go do it in here.
What FanDuel? What FanDuel have OU as? 7-3.
7.5.
I mean 7.5. I mean, sorry.
7.5. So
I thought they did.
Based on their schedule, I can't disagree with that, but we'll get into it.
Well, I disagree with it, but I'm gonna pull it up.
Of course,
that's because you're biased. Yeah, you're biased.
I am a little biased, but I also know that what kind of team this is that they're bringing in. You know, that their defense is going to be better. Their offense is probably going to be better too. I'll talk about it in just a second. All right. Don't get me started already.
Wow.
Let's see. SEC wins. Sorry.
Get in here with us, Shawty.
Okay. I'm just going to do this one, the SEC filter, unfiltered, put up there. That way I can.
Wow.
Well, we got this still talking some smack.
Yeah, chicken is funny.
He loves it. He loves it. We hadn't seen chicken in a while, man. I'm glad.
I know it's been a while since we've seen chicken. Love that dude.
I said hello. What's up, Gavino? Man, what's up? That's one of my son's best friends right there. That's awesome.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, people.
Heck yeah, man. Everybody hit that like button.
Wipe your feet, baby. Wipe your feet.
Are you a subscriber to my channel or to SEC Mode? Make sure that you get over there and do that.
Please do.
Big. Yeah, so listen, let's see. Let me pull that up. No, I had it. Okay. Share that.
I need everybody in here to subscribe to my channel because there's going to be a lot more content coming. Ain't that right, Jason?
That's right. That's right, man. We're going to have plenty up. All right. Let me,
this is good. I like this.
So, okay. This is what SEC Unfiltered had for their picks or whatever. We'll just kind of talk about this, and then you guys can – let me take that off of there real quick. That way you can see them all. So –
this is interesting.
It is, but 9.5 for Alabama. I think that okay, we'll just run through them. Alabama 9.5, Arkansas 5.5, Auburn 6.5, Florida 5.5, Georgia 10.5. They lead it with Texas. They both were at 10.5 according to FanDuel. Okay,
yeah.
Then you got Kentucky at 6.5, LSU at 9.5, Mississippi State 4.5, Mizzou at 9.5.
OU at 6.5.
Now they're showing OU at 6.5 at this point.
Dang.
Wow. They see your schedule, bro. that
Now,
SEC
the
schedule is
a
brutal.
monster.
I'm just gonna say this.
It is a monster.
Beat the shit out of the over if you want to make money, because they're not gonna go freaking. They're not going 6-6, bro. There's no way. There's no way. It would have to be catastrophic for that to happen.
Hey,
catastrophic. But anyway,
crazier things have happened, Jason.
USC. I'll talk to you about it in a second. USC. That's South Carolina at 5.5. Tennessee at 8.5. A&M at 8.5, which is a joke, and then Vandy at 2.5.
Yeah, I don't see A&M at 8.5, bro. I'm taking the under on that all day.
Right? Yeah, I am too. So let's actually have this. We'll go with these. Let me present this other one.
I need to find that. Where'd you find that? That over under?
It's going to be up on this next screen too, bro.
Okay.
All right. So we'll just start with, and this is in no particular order, but Coach I gave us where he was at with it.
Okay. So he's high on Alabama and Georgia, of course.
Well, he was saying on the first thing that he sent with his picks, and we were we had a miscommunication on what I was looking for. But yeah, so what he had said on there, he had 10 wins, or that's what he had showed was 10 wins on there. So that would be over.
Yeah.
He's saying that he probably wouldn't bet it though, is what he was really getting at, I think, more than anything.
Right.
He wouldn't have bet it. But anyway, yeah, so he has it over 9.5 because he had him at 10, right? Then Georgia, obviously the over for him there as well. Under for LSU at 9.5. I think he had them at like 9, maybe. But then Texas, of course, under in 10.5. And I couldn't agree more with the whole. I mean, I think we're the same except for Alabama. I think that Alabama probably takes a step back, and it's not a huge step back. I think they win 9 games, but at 9.5, and you've got pretty new staff. I think that they lost enough guys off of this team that you have to concern yourself a little bit with some of these games. I feel like they're probably at 9. Could you see them winning 8? Maybe, but I still like them more than that. I like Kalen DeBoer more than that. I think he's just a better coach than that.
Yeah.
So I think that they're at 9, but that's still an under for me, right? You had them at over. I think you picked them to win 11 games, right?
Yeah, I got them over. I got them over just because you don't have an inadequate coach stepping into a big shoe. You know what I mean? Kalen DeBoer is,
and there is a lot of talent still on that team.
That's exactly what I was about to say, man. I mean, you have to think about it. Alabama's third string is better than 40% of the SEC's first string. You know what I mean? So I think that Kalen DeBoer is a more than capable coach to. He'll have to screw this up himself to not win over 9 games. Just put it that way. I think that his recruiting is going to have to show improve in the next couple of years, just because of the talent that they did lose this year with Nick Saban leaving. But I just think that based on the talent that they have right now and the type of coach that Kalen DeBoer is, I think that that's enough to put Alabama over. And obviously, we know Georgia's going to be over because nothing's changed with them.
Yeah,
the bigger questions are going to be LSU and Texas.
Revenge tour too. I think that Georgia. I could see them going undefeated.
Exactly.
I could. Exactly. I could see them going undefeated. Coach, where are you at on Alabama?
Alabama? I tell you what, I definitely I think under myself because I think they're gonna. I think they can win 9. But I'm still not sure. There's a lot of gelling that goes on. I know they're bringing in a good coach, and a great one left. But anytime you're having to get used to your players, new coaches, new players. I mean, there's a lot to that. I mean, and so I could see him at 8 wins. But
Hank said the same.
Well, they definitely have a tough schedule, Coach. That's the one thing about it is it's not like they have a cupcake schedule. We were just looking at it a few minutes ago before you got in here, and they still play. They got to play Georgia this year, and they've got LSU. They've got Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee. They got the toughest. They have the same schedule pretty much as Oklahoma.
No, I think it's a tough schedule, and I think it's going to take them a while, guys.
I like the fact that you said that they basically have the same schedule as Oklahoma. The question is, do you honestly think that Oklahoma is the better team?
I think that they're probably right there. We're going to find out. We're going to find out about that. I'm stopping short on that. I've got that as kind of a toss-up game for me. Yeah. My question about them is probably their quarterback. I'm not sure I trust Jalen to throw the ball as much as Kalen wants to throw it. Right? I think that Jalen Milroe is unbelievable. I think he's a hell of an athlete.
He's a specimen. He's an athletic specimen.
I don't think he's a great thrower, man.
Nah, I think everybody agrees with that. He's nothing like a Michael Penix. You know what I mean?
No.
Michael Penix is nothing like.
Now that's on Kalen DeBoer to find a way to win with what he's got.
I think he will, man.
But I don't know that. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. But it's not the same kind of offense that he likes to run.
Yeah, I won't discount the fact that he has the ability to coach or scheme according to what he has on his team. Scheme to what you have on your team. That's going to be a mantra of mine. Scheme to your team.
Right. But also, I think that in any time that you lose a guy like Nick Saban, this is what Hank's saying here. Think about this. This is the third year for this staff. You've got some new pieces to the staff, but this is the third year for the staff. And they're used to the way that the culture is starting to go at OU. There's a different culture. Now, again, you haven't seen DeBoer lose anywhere. So it's hard for me to really say that they're not going to win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and I've probably got them at 9 wins. But I don't think that that's a terrible step back if you're them, but I don't necessarily think that they're going to win the SEC. I just don't.
No, I don't see that either. That's going to Georgia.
And I'll say this, guys. I'll say this, that talking about the culture difference from the two coaches, the one that was there and the one that's there now.
Right.
I really truly believe that Nick Saban ran a very tight ship. I'm not saying the board doesn't, but again, there's a learning curve in that culture. And I think Saban was just a lot tighter than I think probably DeBoer is. And again, that's just, that's more of an uneducated guess than anything.
They promoted Nathan Sheridan, who is he was
right.
Well, what is it? Yeah, Nick Sheridan. Sorry, not Nathan. Nick Sheridan, and he was the tight ends coach already. So they know it's the same offense, but is he Ryan Grubb? And how important was Ryan Grubb to this offense is a question, right?
I think very.
I think he might have been. And so now, obviously, they're running Kalen DeBoer's offense. It doesn't change. He can step in and call the plays if you want him to, but then that takes you away from being that guy that is the CEO, which we all talk about how important that's supposedly going to be, right? And you see less and less coaches calling plays these days too, right?
Guys, I'm just telling you, there's gonna be a learning curve in Alabama for the players, for the coaches, all the way around. There's gonna be a learning curve.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I say 8 wins, and the schedule with all those.
Okay.
And I also think that there's going to be an elephant
there.
And I think that there's going to be an additional elephant in the room, no pun intended, with Nick Saban sticking around. You know what I mean? Because they've already said that he's not really going anywhere. He's still going to be around.
Much though. He's going to be at ESPN. So I mean,
he's going to be at game. Well, that's a good point because he's going to be at game day. He's going to be on game day now. So that's a really good point. I don't with you saying that. I think that he's not going to be around as much.
I think he's going to be there,
maybe during the week. Yeah, as a support system, but. I was thinking that he was going to be there, like in the locker rooms, in the facilities. You know what I mean?
I don't
almost
see that, like because listen, I don't think that. I think you'd be crazy if you're Kalen DeBoer to not let him have some input and go to him if he's making himself available to you. You probably want to use that resource for a while, right?
Yeah,
and I think he'll do that, but I don't see him being around the team a ton. I just don't see that. I think that, maybe around Kalen a little bit, but I don't really see him doing that.
Yeah.
It's just not going to – I don't see it really happening.
Yeah.
And I am excited especially with the ESPN deal. Now, Coach, the rest of us, we have under or over for Georgia, of course. We all have LSU under 9.5, and we all have Texas under. 10, you have any issues with that?
I have nothing different on any of those.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I kind of figured too.
That LSU offense post Jaden Daniels is going to be iffy, to say the least.
Maybe, and I don't mind. I don't mind who they got spinning it, but
Denbrock.
I think that's the big problem. Denbrock's out of there. He went to Notre Dame, and their defense. I mean, we're expecting that defense is going to be reloaded. In maybe they'll use some people the correct way. Down in Baton Rouge. I'm not expecting them to be a bad football team. You just don't see Brian Kelly put bad football teams on the field very often. So I'm not saying anything that they're bad. I just don't think they win 10 games. So that's automatic under. I just don't think they win 10 games. Of course, that's what this is. Okay.
If Texas wins more than 10.5 games, man, I will be surprised.
Right. 10.5. They're not. They're not, and we can go look at. We'll come back to Texas in a minute. Well, let's go through some more of these. Auburn at 7.5, Ole Miss at 9.5, Tennessee at 8.5, Mizzou at 9.5.
I think Auburn is going to be. I'm taking the under. I'll take the under on Auburn, man. I know I said over.
Yeah, you did.
But I'll take the under on Auburn.
I think it's really tight. This is one of the ones that they're probably right on with Auburn. I think that they're a year away from really competing to win 10 games. They've got another one of those tough schedules as well. Yeah. And they're either going to go with the quarterback they went with last year who wasn't good and they lost to New Mexico State at home with, or they've got to start a freshman. So
I think Hugh Freeze is going to be more settled in this year.
They're going to win a lot of games early because they've got the easy part of their schedule. It's like I think they're going to win their first 6 and then they probably win one
fizzle out. Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, I think that Hugh Freeze is going to be more settled in. He's going to have more of his players, but it's just the schedule, man. I mean, I don't know if he'll be able to overcome the schedule this year.
If they beat A&M in the last game of the season, they have a possibility of getting to 8. But I think that right after that, they start off with 6 that they should win, and then they get into Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
It starts getting to, and LSU, I think, as well. So they've got a rough one coming through this year too. Again, I think that Hugh Freeze is a good coach as long as he's coaching and not, doing crazy stuff. Yeah. But I still think he's probably a year away. And, if you're starting a freshman, you generally have to wonder, right?
Yeah.
Coach?
I'm gonna roll the dice on this one. I'm going with the over.
You say 8? If they win at least 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I was kind of torn between it. I was kind of torn between 7
Well,
or 8.
I'm straddling the fence.
Yeah, I can see them winning 8. Ole Miss at 9.5. I've got them under that. I think they go to 10. I haven't seen Ole Miss
I'm taking
win the games that they're supposed to win, man. They haven't. I mean, they've won 10 games, but when they get into a big important game, they haven't won.
Well, I mean, they got one less foe. They got one less coach to worry about, and that's Nick Saban. I mean,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
But I'm taking the over, man.
If you start looking at their schedule here too,
you got
Kentucky, South Carolina, those are wins. But then, I want
to see this schedule.
They could get there. They've got it starts off with Kentucky, South Carolina. They should win those.
Yep.
But then it goes LSU, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida.
Arkansas is a dub. Arkansas is a dub. Florida's a dub. So that's 4.
Oklahoma has to play them at home or in Oxford, obviously.
That's going to be a toss-up, bro. I'll take Ole Miss in that one. That'll be 5.
Again, and they're going to win the games before they get there, right? They should. Yeah. But I think that it's going to be right there at 9 or 10. I don't see them winning the conference. I don't see them. They're going to lose at least 2, and I think they could lose 3. It's just we haven't seen Lane really come through. And to be honest with you, I know they did really well in the portal, but here's the question that you got to ask yourself, and this is the same question I'm going to say about Texas. When have you seen where you do wholesale changes through the portal and it's propelled somebody to a championship in 1 year? That's what both they're counting on that, and so is Ohio State. And I mean, Ohio State, I don't believe in Will Howard, but they're rolling the dice. They went and got Chip. They went and got Chip. He can be their offensive coordinator. They've already got a pretty good defense. They're pushing the envelope there, right? We're gonna see, but I was
about to say Colorado, but then I was like, we all know how that ended.
Yeah,
because they did a complete rehaul with
USC did the same thing. So did Colorado. I think that that's a different deal though with those schools that we're talking about because of the fact that Ole Miss already won 10.
Yeah.
Now they're coming in here and making changes. They let their running back get out of there and go to Ohio State. Now they went and got, then they went and added some guys from Texas A&M, which, hey man, they're not coming from a great culture at A&M. I'm sorry, but
defensive linemen too. They got defensive linemen. I think they got a receiver too, didn't they?
I think they do. And they got a receiver from A&M last year that they had to kick off the team immediately.
I remember that. Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see. I'll say this. The Achilles heel for Ole Miss will be Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is going to determine how far that team goes for the simple fact that he is not
he's an offensive mind, and those guys haven't won yet.
He is. And the fact that he doesn't have the same type of culture that a Nick Saban or Kirby Smart would in the locker room.
Or the players. I mean, you did good in the portal here, but that still doesn't mean you have the same roster as those other teams. And even Oklahoma, I would say the same with OU, Georgia, LSU. These guys are going to bring in guys every year. We know that.
Yeah.
It's just I'm on that. You got to show me first deal with Ole Miss. I don't know.
Okay.
You guys both had them at over 9 wins. You can see them winning 10 again. It wouldn't surprise me. Coach, where are you at on that one?
I'm on an under.
Okay, Coach.
On under. 2 overs, 2 unders. Tennessee, we were all at over 8.5.
Yeah.
I think they probably win 9 or 10. Probably.
I think that freshman quarterback is about to come in and shake some things up, man.
He's a stud, man. He looked good in that bowl game.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Mizzou.
Under.
I got him under. You got him under. Yep. Coach, I had him right at 9.5. That's what he had put on his list, so I'm pushing it on that one with him. It's another one he wouldn't bet. But Coach, where are you at on this one? You got him under, or?
Well, I tell you what, I would have had them on the over if they had kept their defense coordinator.
Yeah.
But with their DC gone, I'm going under.
Okay. Yeah,
that's a good reason, Coach.
I don't know if Tennessee hits 9 wins or not, but I think they could.
Okay, Hank said Tennessee won't hit 9 wins. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, that
kind of like OU.
That's my man Mo.
Alabama. They've got a tough schedule too. They got to play Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Florida. But I don't know, man. They might get there. I think they get there because they've got Vandy, they've got Kentucky. I think they get there. I think they get to at least 9. Tennessee. I think they get to 9.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, but as far as Mizzou goes, I'm just gonna say this one more time. Everybody's already heard me say this. They're Mizzou. I don't want to hear shit until you do it twice. You know what I mean? I just don't buy them.
Hey man, we need to get that. We need to get some merch up. We need to get some Mizzou shirts up, man. And the merch,
that'd be good.
No cap SEC merch, man. Mizzou, yeah.
Mizzou,
yeah.
I like that. I like it.
It's coming. It's coming soon to the SEC merch store. No cap SEC.
No cap SEC merch. Yeah,
hey, I love it.
They lost that DC, like you said, Coach. They're gonna have a hell of an offense, but I also think that even though they have a fairly doable schedule when you start looking at the 2023 schedule, I don't think that Mizzou wins 10 games. I think that
I don't think so either, man.
I think they could go back to like 6 to 7 wins just because I think they can.
Yeah, I think Drink is about to be in for a rude awakening this year, man. I think he's feeling himself too much.
Breaks, man.
It was easy.
They were losing 3-0 in the fourth quarter and then scored 2 touchdowns against the Ohio State team with its third string quarterback.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was easy for Drink to flow through the season because he was everybody's favorite weirdo. You know what I mean? But this year, people are starting to hate him. And I think that pressure is going to kind of get to him this year. I think that he's going to be humbled a little bit because he's starting to step outside of himself.
Right.
But I can't wait to see Mizzou take a step back.
Take a little header also. I just don't see them getting to 10 wins. They may end up winning 8 or 9, but I think that'd be the most that they can.
Man,
because of their schedule, I think that they could win 8 or 9, but I don't see them winning 10, man. They're not beating Oklahoma. We'll just put it that way. They ain't beating Oklahoma.
Nah, I'll give you that.
All right. Here we go. Next ones. Texas A&M, South Carolina, Mississippi State, and Arky.
Accurate.
I don't think that there's
any rebuttal.
Surprise with A&M. Look, they didn't win 8 games last year. They certainly didn't win 9, and they lost some guys. You know, I think Yoko's a better coach than what they have there, right?
Yeah.
But I also think that they've got to, they're gonna take a couple on the chin, and he's gonna have to pay for his. I think it's hilarious. By the way, I don't know if you heard this, but Elko was saying, Coach, did you hear the other day that Elko was talking about A&M being the flagship school of
Texas? Oh yeah, he's delirious. Yeah, he's just talking shit.
Elko just don't understand this part of the country yet.
Man, he's trolling. He's trolling.
I don't care.
No doubt.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's trolling.
Yeah, he's definitely full of shit.
Yeah,
but
God bless you.
Now he was saying it at the right time, talking about how he needed that. They've made it an important issue was to get with the Texas High School Coaches Association and get they want a better relationship than what Jimbo had with them because it was shit.
I mean, that's obvious. Yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if you don't do that, the Texas coaches will run your ass out of the state.
Right.
Absolutely will.
That and the fact that they'll happily send their players to other schools.
That's
everywhere.
That is the main problem, no doubt. All right, so A&M, South Carolina. I've got A&M under. We've all got them under. Coach, you got them at under as well?
Yes,
you
sir.
Got them on your schedule this year. Okay. We've got under South Carolina. Coach I's got them winning. I think he had them at like 6.5, but I know it was over. Maybe 6 is what it was, but I got him as over.
What does their schedule look like, Jason?
It's not real easy, but I don't think it's. Let me take a look here.
Talking about South Carolina?
Yeah.
That's a good question, Coach.
Well, they played well. They got LSU, Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma, A&M, Mizzou, Clemson. Always they got Clemson. They're not winning.
They're under, bro.
I'm going under. I'm definitely under. Yeah.
That's an under.
Yeah. Shit.
I think Coach I's nephew gonna be a Sooner next year.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. He's kind of he's flying high on his nephew playing for Carolina.
Yeah, but I think they got to get rid of old boy. He ain't the guy.
Yeah,
he ain't the guy, man. But Coach Ed, stat guy is staying around. He's staying.
I respect that though, but man, listening to that schedule, just the opening, bro.
Yeah,
like
they're
that's
gonna get
exactly.
get beat up.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
I didn't even say where they were playing them. They're getting OU in Norman, but I mean, I don't think it matters where they play any of those guys. Right?
They may have 12 players for the second game or the fourth game of the season.
Yeah,
they're gonna get beat up.
Carolina light. Clemson's heavy, I guess. That's awesome.
Mississippi State. I got Mississippi State over 4.5 games. I don't know why.
Mississippi State, I have them over too. I think that they're going to probably win all their non-cons, and they'll probably pull one off. And I mean, I don't think that it's that far to go. Yeah. I'm thinking 5 wins for them. I think it's 5 wins for South Carolina as well.
Yeah.
And I really think Arkansas is at 5 wins is why I've got them under. Yeah. Now you tell me about where you had them, because I didn't put you got them finishing, man. This is your boys. You tell us.
Bro, Arkansas is like that drunk girl in the back of the party, man. The easy target. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Arkansas has way too many issues right now.
Mo, we need to bring you over to the dark side.
They have way too many issues right now. I mean,
the drunk girl at the party. Did y'all hear that?
Girl at the back. The drunk girl at the back of the party. She's the easy target, man. I mean, man. The 2 a.m. last call. Hank said it.
I feel a tweet coming. That's
man. I mean, Arkansas right now has way too many issues. I mean, they're drunk and they don't know where they are. I just think that Sam Pittman isn't the guy. He's plain and simple. He's just not the guy. He doesn't have the demeanor. He does. Look at Chicken, man. He's got jokes.
Chicken always got jokes, man. Chicken's always got jokes.
No, man. I mean, I just think that the dynamic between Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman, in order for this to work, Sam Pittman literally has to let Bobby Petrino be the villain. Yeah. He has to let Bobby Petrino be the villain. Bobby Petrino, he thrives off darkness. Like he thrives.
But you think that Bobby's got to be hamstringing him to get? I mean, he could throw it until he gets the freaking job.
I think that if Bobby Petrino plays it smart, man, he can literally be the savior of Arkansas without having to take the responsibility of being a head coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sam Pittman can be the spokesperson.
It feels like
Bobby Petrino can be the brains
already to me, man. It really does.
That's my point. That's my point, Jason. I think that Bobby Petrino is in a very unique situation because he's in a place where he's beloved. Right. He's in a place where he's had the most success as a college coach on a high level. But not only that, he doesn't have to take most of the heat. He doesn't have to go out and answer all the questions at the press conferences after games. All he has to do is worry about offense right now, and he can be the villain. If Sam Pittman allows Bobby Petrino to be the villain and run the offense the way he wants to, I think it'll be a nice marriage. But I won't be convinced until we win, until I see what they do against Oklahoma State. I'm not putting my money on Arkansas. I'm going under 5 wins. I think under 5 wins and Sam Pittman's out the door.
Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, so I don't doubt that. I think they may win 5 games, but I don't see really them winning more than that. I like their quarterback, but I still think Coach, do you have any differences in that?
They're going to be. Who do you think their wins are going to be after Coach goes? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, I'm unanimous with you guys.
You could beat Okie Light possibly.
Yeah.
UAB you should win. UAPB you should win. There's 3 maybe for sure. You should win Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, that's 4.
That's 4. I think it's going to be hard to get there, but you could beat Auburn possibly.
Possibly, yes.
But I think that's where I'm saying. I think the toughest Mississippi State's a win. You should be.
You also have to think about this, man. Last year, Arkansas's offense was not functional at all. There was zero cohesiveness on the offensive line, from the offensive line.
I understand.
QB. But I think that if Bobby Petrino can completely install his offense and get the team ready for
If they let him do, if Pittman's smart and wants to keep his job, he will let Bobby do whatever the hell he wants on offense.
I think they have enough in their tank to win.
He was letting Riles. He was letting
Yeah. I think at most Arkansas has the chance to win 6 games. I think 6 games is their ceiling. I think 3 games is their floor.
Hey, welcome to the show from the Fan Attic, Coach I. What's up, Coach I?
What's good, man? How
Coach I, what's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Welcome into No Cap SEC.
Coach I.
What's going on, Coach, man? Long time no see, my man.
I've been keeping a low profile, brother.
I know, man. You like incognito mode.
Right.
Too much shit going on, man.
Right.
For sure.
All right, where y'all at on these things, man?
Shit.
And we just got
we're pretty much almost done. Okay. So we're pretty much done. Let me take that the brand off. I got a problem here with my
I would like for Coach I to explain this over on South Carolina based on that schedule you just spit out, Jason. I'm definitely interested to see this. Hear this.
Let me pull up I got all the games how I picked the games. I'll tell you. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go right here. I'll just write down because I figured it was somebody going to ask about somebody. Let's see here. South Carolina.
Coach, are you able to control anything?
What do you want me to do?
Hold on. Let me see if it's going to let me do it. It's not letting me move. I'm going to pop out real quick. I'll be right back in.
Bet.
Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, all right. South Carolina, I got 4 wins that nobody should be able to question on South Carolina's schedule.
Okay.
That's ODU, Old Dominion, Akron, Vandy, and Wofford. There's no question. South Carolina's beating all 4 of them.
I'm good with that.
Right. UK, Kentucky, they split with Kentucky. The last, matter of fact, they had beat Kentucky, Kentucky had beaten them for 7 straight, and then the last, I want to say 4. Let me see. Let me put up South Carolina's schedule too.
Okay.
Because I don't just go by, I take it all into consideration. Who you play before, after, where you play, everything.
Right.
Let's see. Kentucky. They play at Kentucky. Kentucky, I'm not sure about Kentucky's quarterback. I got it as a push, but I think they could win that game. So if we was talking about betting,
okay,
I could possibly go there. But South Carolina, Missouri and Texas A&M. I don't believe in Texas A&M, to be honest with you.
I don't think anybody does. That's a good point, Coach.
I don't really believe in Texas A&M. And then they get Texas A&M at home coming off a bye week. So that would be game number 5. Right now. So without even considering Kentucky, I got them beating Old Dominion, Akron, Vandy, Wofford, and Texas A&M if I'm betting. Yeah, A&M if I'm betting. And then I think Ole Miss has a better team. That's not the question. But if you check it, Ole Miss doesn't play good on the road. I don't care. I don't know what the thing is with Lane Kiffin and being on the road. They got to go to South Carolina. They don't. That's what I'm saying. They don't when I tell you they don't play good on the road, bro. Even when they win on the road, if it's an inferior team, it's ugly. It's an ugly, close game.
Yeah.
And if they, I know we don't know game times and things like that, but if they play South Carolina tonight, I know it sounds crazy, but South Carolina is crazy to play them at night. I can tell you right now, because they're such an inferior team to Georgia, I wouldn't want to go and play them at nighttime just because they have some kind of mystique at night or something. I don't know. The last time they beat us at South Carolina,
what y'all say about Auburn too.
Listen, the last time they beat us at South Carolina, we had Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall coming. They was true freshmen. We was pounding. We was beating everybody breaks off. We went down there. They beat us 35-7. At night, it wasn't like Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall wasn't even the 2 best. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy like that. I don't.
Wow.
Well, there's always some weird games that happen in the SEC.
Outside of Vandy, outside of Vandy and Mississippi State, I wouldn't want to play any team in the SEC at night at their stadium.
Right.
That's
right.
Other than Arkansas.
Well, Arkansas. Yeah, I mean, it was a couple teams. I mean, that's no shot, but you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I think we would win those games, but that's how I got. I'm like, so I'm looking at 6 right there. I'm like,
yeah,
I take the over on that.
I've got them on the
under right now. I've got them on the under right now because I think they're another one of those 5-win teams. I don't see them being Ole Miss. But then again, I wouldn't. Nothing surprises you really. I mean, they turn around. Remember, you got to remember 2 years ago. They look at Tennessee was rolling along and got drug.
Yep.
When they got to freaking Columbia.
And this is the thing too. A lot of teams,
and that was before Hendon went out. That was before Hendon Hooker went out.
Yeah. Exactly. And a lot of teams I took into consideration, coaching changes, again, where you play the game, when you play the game, coming off a bye, not coming off a bye, playing a team that's really physical or quarterbacks. Like what type of if I haven't seen you play, but I know what type of quarterback you're supposed to be, that makes a difference. Lenore Sellers is supposed to be a dual threat quarterback. Dual threat quarterback that's kind of in the headlights can make more plays to me than a pocket passer, because a dual threat quarterback will just start using his legs and making plays. Like we saw DJU's first game against first game truly starting against Georgia. Even though people think he's a dual threat, he's really just a pocket passer. He was a deer in headlights. He couldn't do nothing. But like Deshaun, when he came his first year, he came to Georgia, he was passing, but he could run too. You know what I'm saying? It's like because instincts kick in. So I think about that. Like, if South Carolina's playing a team that's kind of on the I'm like, let's look at the quarterback situation. Well, Lenore Sellers is an athlete. He might make some plays on some people. And
I would say in 5 wins, because I think your nephew, you're going to end up at Oklahoma next year.
You mean transfer?
Yeah.
Oh,
you'll be chilling at OU.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The way it's looking right now, they may not be good as far as team, but he may be the man by default, like just because he's the best receiver they got. And sometimes you'll stay in a bad situation.
Well, he's a stud, man. I know he's a stud. He's a bad dude.
He's already put on 15 pounds of muscle. So,
man, how long has he been on campus?
Since January.
Oh yeah, they got him on a mean.
They got him on that
meal plan,
protein shakes.
Yeah, they got him on a mean meal plan right now.
What's going on to the folks in the chat, man? Kim, Mars, Nathan, Hank. I see my boy Shawty
Chicken, Kim Hurst. Everybody, welcome into the show. We're glad everybody's here. If you haven't already hit that like button, make sure you do.
Absolutely. And go tell them to go subscribe to the SEC Mo YouTube channel, man.
That's right. Go subscribe to SEC Mo. Make sure you get over to the Fan Addict. Do the same thing over there. Fan Addict's got some new channels that he's got as well. Coach, we'll have everybody tell everybody where to find them, and it'll all be in the description after this. But guys, if you love the content we're bringing you, no cap, man. Hit that like button and share us. Make sure that you're hitting that like button and sharing us. All right.
There is no cap in our rap around here, man.
There you go.
Yeah, Mo, any other ones from me that you was questioning that you want me to explain?
We can go
man. The biggest question mark I had was that South Carolina over.
South Carolina over,
yeah. I mean, everything else is pretty on par, man. Everybody's got Ole Miss, other than Jason's got Ole Miss over. Auburn is under. I think I'm the only person that picked Auburn to go over. I just believe in Hugh Freeze, man.
I was a push there. I think it could. I think it could be either way with Auburn because I do believe in Hugh Freeze. But again, who's the quarterback?
Yeah. That's the question. And then Mizzou.
Yeah. Mizzou, I actually got Mizzou at 9. I had them. I had 4 compared to FanDuel that were matched up. Mizzou is one of them. I had Mizzou at 9.5. But like I say, it's a push for me. So
okay, that makes sense. Okay,
because that just depends. I don't know. Cody Schrader was a huge part of their offense last year, and I don't know who's running the ball this year. So
he was. Other than that, I mean,
you can pop in. I sent you the link, man. I sent you a link, so if you want in, come on. All right, I think we were pretty close on most of those, though. I mean, I think that you probably could go either way with Auburn. I think they might win 8. I think they might win 7, but I think it's 7 or 8. I don't think it's more than that, really.
Yeah, I would have You got me as under on Auburn. I wouldn't bet Auburn. I'd push it.
Well, no, I know, and I was saying that those are the ones that you were saying you wouldn't bet on, but it was a push or whatever.
Based on my win totals.
I think with your win totals that you sent me, it would have had you under, but I think that.
Yeah,
I think 7 or 8 wins is possible. There's a couple of games that's going to decide whether it's 7 or 8. I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep going. You showed me I want to say I've seen half of them.
Well, yeah, you've seen but I mean
right here.
We were all the same on that. We were all the same on those. So, no change. And then here we are. The last one. I mean, this is
where's the one with Texas and OU and
Texas was on the first one, but OU is
that one right there. That one right there.
Here we go.
Coach, you didn't have any other changes with those other ones, right? Those last 4? No, I'm talking Coach Roybal. Coach Roybal, you didn't have any differences there?
Nope.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right, and
now the last one.
Yeah, go back to the OU Kentucky.
There we are.
Yeah, 2.5. I wouldn't bet it, but that's what I when I did my win totals, I had Vandy at 2.5.
At 2.5. Yeah. You're correct. Yeah, and
like the OU, my win totals for OU, I had OU at 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
And then I had Florida at 6.5. But if I was betting, I wouldn't bet any of those 4 on the screen.
Right. Right. No, I know you put that down there, but just by your win totals, the way you sent them, I wanted to make sure that we put it like that because for everybody else who we.
Yeah.
Now where I'm at, I think. Go ahead. Ask.
SEC Mo.
What's up?
You over on Kentucky?
I am, man, and I'll tell you why. Historically, Kentucky has been in the middle of the road. They've always won 7-8 games is their ceiling. I mean, I don't even recall a 9 to 10 win season for Kentucky. What was the last?
Stoops won 10 games twice.
Okay, has it
2 years ago he won 10, and then I want to say 2 years prior to that he won 10. I could be mistaken, but in the last 6 years he's won 10 twice.
Okay. So, and that's my point. I see them. I think that 6 games is their floor. I think 8 games is their ceiling. So I'm that'll put them right at 7.5 for me.
Let's see. 8 games is their ceiling for me. 5 is their floor.
The floor. Okay.
This is Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Because what I did was when I was going through, I listed the teams I thought was wins, the teams I thought was losses, and the teams I thought was
have actually I think I put this wrong because I had them at 7 wins. I think they're over on this.
Kentucky?
I think Kentucky. Yeah, I think they're over.
I gotta mess up.
That was one of the teams I had them just like FanDuel. I had them at 6.5. I think they beat Southern Miss, Ohio.
You can find 7. You may find 6, right? Kind of a toss-up between them.
Southern Miss, Ohio, Vandy, Murray State, and Louisville. They own Louisville, so those are the 5. I think they're winning for sure.
Do they play Florida this year?
Yeah. So I got UGA, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas as losses, and then where I could see the 7.5 is Auburn, South Carolina, and Florida are all for me. So
right.
They could get it done. They could get it done in those 3 games.
I have them as over. This was I missed.
Yeah, so I was a push because I was exactly like FanDuel.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So,
Vanderbilt 2.5. I mean, I don't know why I put under. I probably should have pushed it there because I think that's about right.
Yeah, and then like I say for OU, I had 8.5. I had 6 straight up wins, and then I had 5 that could go either way. I only had 1 straight up loss. I feel that OU's gonna have, and that's Ole Miss. I think just at Ole Miss.
It's Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think. I think.
I think the one that I've had straight up, and also the video that I did, and guys, if you didn't look at my video that I did about this this morning, I put it out. It's there on the channel here, and then you got to get over and check out the new Sooner Network channel and subscribe to that as well. But yeah, I believe they're beating Missouri. I already said that on this show, but they're going to beat Mizzou. I think that they can beat Ole Miss because I just don't know what Kiffin's going to do, but I do think that that's a toss-up game right there. I think that's a toss-up. It's a tough place to go win.
Jackson Dart came back, didn't he?
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. They the only person they lost off of the offense really is Judkins. And I think some of us that watch a lot of Ole Miss could argue that Bentley is just as effective.
I was about to say I like Bentley better than I like Judkins. I'm not even gonna lie.
And this is the thing. The only hangups I always have about Ole Miss, and you can look the last 3 to 4 years, is on the road their offense plays like trash, but at home they put up buku points. And then on the defensive side, they just went in defensively, they had the best transfer portal class hands down. It's not even contest.
Yeah.
So because they added a lot of people over there, and I'm like,
especially on the defensive line in the trenches.
Right. So, Oklahoma's. I would have given y'all a loss against Bama if Nick Saban was still there, but so it's a push.
See, and I think that's where I'm at with it too. I think that Oklahoma can win that game at home. Then it's not a guarantee, but I think they can. The three, I've got 3 that it would probably could go either way, and it'd be, and I added Auburn into that mix. It would be Auburn could go either way. I believe that Oklahoma beats Tennessee at home. I know they beat South Carolina at home, but I do believe that because Oklahoma's at home for that. But then the Alabama game could go either way still. And then I believe that LSU's a loss. And then you've got
I got see, I don't have LSU as a definite loss. I think that depends on what time y'all play them.
I think it does too. And I think a lot of that's going to depend on how the rest of their season is, right? So I mean, can I see
they play in Death Valley, right?
This list, I was going to say that too. This is kind of a fluid list as depends on what we see out of. Does their quarterback really end up being pretty good? Are they near anything what they were on offense because of losing their offensive coordinator? We expect they're going to be better on defense, but I don't know that. But I just think playing at Baton Rouge, man,
that's tough, bro.
Yeah, Mars
said it's a night game
twice. That's right, but it wasn't Brent Venables.
If it's a night game, bro, it'll be a problem.
Y'all didn't have a first year starter at quarterback neither of those times either.
Do you guys see for Nathan, for our audience member here, he's asking, do you see Oklahoma State ever being invited to the SEC?
No.
I said no. But yeah.
No. If they were, it would have been a come on.
It would already been done.
Yeah.
I think
Oklahoma State would have been a package deal.
Yeah, I got five. I had 5 games as pushes for OU. Just depends. And not saying that OU can't win them. They can, but I don't have Missouri as a definite win. I know it historically you have, but you haven't played them in over a decade. So
I agree with that, but there's a reason behind it, and I think that they're going to.
But it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same teams. Neither one. So
I agree.
That's why I got it like that. And then of course,
my thing is
Tennessee.
My thing with them was that I feel like they have with Mizzou, they lost their whole defensive staff, man, and.
Yeah, but all the offense comes back though.
Except for the running back, except for Schroeder.
I think Oklahoma's going to have a good enough defense to slow them down enough to win. I just do.
But and then on the other side, y'all got a new quarterback. They don't. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you don't know. Jackson Arnold, while talented, that doesn't always translate into win.
We're going to find out. Yeah, I think that's what I think that the game. This team is going to come down to.
And nobody plays as fast as Tennessee.
If Jackson is really good. And if that defense is what we think it is, then they can have a really good season. If they could either win 8, they might win 10. I've got them at 93 is my number.
Mars Jam, to your point, Brent did beat Saban twice as a defensive coordinator, but you don't have a team that the Clemson teams had the 2 times he beat them. So let's keep it real, Mars. Like they had some, and you don't have Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence at the helm.
Correct.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We talking real football.
Trevor Lawrence was a freshman though, and he did it, so it's not like it can't happen. Jackson may be that dude too. He's the
Jackson as a freshman, nobody considered Jackson on the level of Trevor Lawrence. Come on, bro.
Nah, they were saying Trevor Lawrence was a generational talent
to go and win.
I'm not saying that
the reason why not.
They're not saying he can't. That's not what I said. But the reason why they were able to do that, first off, he beat them after playing a whole season. So Trevor had time to grow. Fact. If they had to play Bama at the same time y'all have to play Bama, Trevor probably was going to lose because they almost lost at Texas A&M. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Man,
look, I don't disagree with it. I think that defensively, what you need for Jackson Arnold to do is not have to win you all these games. You need the defense to step up and make a significant step forward.
The defense, listen, the defense, and this is to your point and to Mars, the defense that Trevor Lawrence had was as good as the 2021 Georgia defense. Oklahoma defense, while good, is not on that level, bro.
We may
It's
see.
That's a strong statement. That's a strong statement, Coach.
No, they had You remember the front four that they had on that team?
Was it Dexter Lawrence?
It was what they called the Power Rangers. It was Dexter Lawrence. It was Christian.
I remember these guys, but I'm telling you,
Barford, was it Christian Barford?
Austin Bryant, Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, like dog, like bro,
that is a mean D line. I ain't gonna front.
No doubt.
I'm not even gonna lie.
So I'm not saying it can't. Again, this is why it's a push and not.
But you just got Stoney. You better throw Stoney out there.
Don't forget Stoney and Jaden Jackson too. And along with that, look, these are freshmen.
You said throw David Stone in the ring with a senior Christian Wilkins, a senior Dexter Lawrence.
I'm trolling.
Come on, bro. Hey,
I'm trolling right now.
Listen, 2024, we talking real ball, dog. Don't get hot takes. Like, talk
look,
real
here's
ball.
where I was at. I've been saying it though. I haven't come off of my 9-3. I haven't come off of 9-3. I think that if they have a special season, it's probably 10-2. I'm staying there with it. And I've said all along, I believe that 2025 is their year that they really make that run because they have some more depth and not even just depth, but also experience in the SEC.
Right. And I think while y'all defense is good, I think that's great. But again, we don't know first year quarterbacks that haven't been like that have no significant anything. If you ain't been there a couple of years,
he's about to be baptized this year.
We're gonna see. I think he's gonna be fine.
I remember what Trevor Lawrence looked like those first couple of games, and I was like, if they didn't play in the cupcake ACC to give him a chance to develop, which again, that's another reason that goes against kind of Oklahoma. Oklahoma doesn't get a cakewalk to give Jackson Arnold that time. Now the good thing is you got the Houston and the Temple and the Tulane, so he gets some games, what I'm saying, under his belt. But like when Trevor Lawrence got ready to play Alabama, he had 13 games in front of him before he had to actually face Bama. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
man. And they were saying Trevor Lawrence was a generational talent. You know what I mean? But I just feel like from Big Ten coming from the Texas Techs and
this kid's the real deal too. I think Jackson's the real deal, but he's got to prove it. He's got to prove it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not the real deal, but when in comparison to Trevor, when Trevor was coming out, even if he wasn't a Clemson player, everybody knew like Trevor was that generational guy.
He knocked Kelly out of the job, what I mean?
Right. Like when Deshaun came out, we all thought that like when Carson came out, I thought Carson was good, but nobody thought he was like better than Aaron Murray or had the potential to be better than Aaron Murray. He has the potential. I'm not saying he's better than Aaron Murray. He has the potential, and even Aaron Murray has said this. But that's what I'm talking about, the perception, and that doesn't mean that it's not going to translate on the field.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm just amazed at the level of confidence that OU fans have in this team, and it's not just you, Jason. I'm looking at Mars. I'm looking at Kim.
I think Mo. That's the way it always is.
I was about to say, don't get coached.
They could be fixing to be 0-60, and they would still have that confidence. Which I tell you what, I think that's incredible. I mean,
Oklahoma is not
believe
new
in their
good
teams.
Football shit. They're not new to good football. They're not.
Yeah. I that's not my reason. My reason is like I say, I think some of that. So I think I'm in the 8-4 if you have a good year, 9-3 type deal because Jackson Arnold being that first year starter, and that's with any team. It's not just Oklahoma. Like that's why I think Tennessee's a push because I don't know what the dude Nick. I don't want to mess his name.
Nico. His name is.
But like both new starting quarterbacks, both supposedly high potential, quarterbacks. I think the style of play that Tennessee plays always catches people that you like, when you play somebody every year, you get to learn their style. You get to learn their style.
Well,
Nobody, hold on. Nobody y'all plays as fast as Tennessee, though. That's what's going to give them a shot.
plays as fast as Tennessee. It's the same. He was there first, coached with BV. They know each other well. That Josh isn't going to surprise anybody.
I'm not saying surprise anybody, dog, but if you like, even Georgia, when we beat Tennessee, the first 2 or 3 drives, it takes us a while, dog. It takes us a while. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think it's a toss-up, and it's not just we're gonna beat Tennessee, because you got both of y'all got new starting quarterbacks. Yeah, you at home,
but I do think that
And y'all, and then all the like somebody, when Mo said Stoney, I know y'all got a great recruit class, man. Right? Y'all got great recruit class, but let's remember, only probably one, maybe 2 of those guys are going to even contribute. Okay,
but that doesn't. You're not putting the fact that they've also added 2 other top 10 classes before that, and a lot of that. Look, they've got top 100 D-line guys in the program just in the last 2 years. Even coming in, so this is not a situation where they're empty down there either. There's some other guys that are already there that should be making a big step forward there already on the D line.
I think most comments about y'all, the confidence y'all have, is how y'all say, "Oh, we're going to beat Tennessee." I don't think that's a given, bro. I don't that's not a given.
I think this is something I was going to say too, man.
Given for me, but I get what you're saying.
I was going to say too.
I think they're going to be good.
The way that OU fans think that teams in the SEC are underestimating them. In reverse, I think OU is literally underestimating the conference that is the SEC, bro. It's just different, man.
I've got them at 9-3. How's that underestimating it? Oklahoma's a different program than some of these other programs, man, and that includes Tennessee. I get
the last time y'all played, y'all did
for Tennessee. I took up for Tennessee a couple of weeks ago when we were doing these coach rankings and stuff, and Josh, you guys were talking about how they were getting worse, and now you're telling me that it's not. That it's.
Shawty said they were getting worse. Shawty said they were getting.
But you said the same thing.
I had hypo down because we've played hypo 3 years in a row now, and even though y'all know hypo, y'all haven't played hypo from Central Florida to Tennessee. You haven't played him as a head coach, so it's different.
Fine.
The one thing that goes into why some teams inside of your conference can beat you when they're not as good as you, as opposed to a team outside of your conference being able to beat you, is because that team knows you. You know Tennessee. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the styles make fights type deal, where this is the first time y'all are going to have to, under the whistle with the refs, play Tennessee. Nobody you've played under Brent Venables' tenure has been like Tennessee, and it always catches people off guard. The reason why South Carolina was able to beat Tennessee when they was hot to trot, it was because they had played Josh Heupel a couple of times, and it's like the team type deal. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why Michigan could beat Ohio State these last 3 years, and outside of last year couldn't get to the playoffs and beat anybody, because they know Ohio State, they know Tennessee's and all that kind of stuff. You can film study, but until you actually doing it in the game, that's why I think it's a toss-up. I don't know if Tennessee's going to go into Norman and beat y'all.
That's fine. Hey, look, I understand why people would call that a toss-up game, and I told you before that I believe that Tennessee is probably going to win 9 or 10 games again. I do. I think that he's one of the good coaches, but I do also think that first game in Norman, there's a lot of reasons I feel like Oklahoma wins that game, and it's just not one of the ones that I really think is as a toss-up. It's just not. Now, the next week when they go on the road to Auburn, I don't think Auburn is as good as Tennessee, but I think they could lose that game. I think that's a toss-up.
To Coach I's point, man, he said that what did you say about teams knowing each other?
You play them every year. That's like you start learning stuff.
I feel like the thing that Oklahoma has an advantage in is that they haven't played a lot of teams in the SEC in general. Now, Texas, on the other hand, Texas has played a lot more teams in the SEC on a regular basis than Oklahoma has. So, it's quite possible. It's quite possible that OU could come in and surprise a few teams, no doubt.
Right.
But just in the grand scheme of things, it's just hard for me to see them winning over 8 games right now. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but just based on the level of difficulty of that schedule, it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough.
I think. Okay, go ahead, Coach. Sorry.
No. The only thing I'm going to say, guys, I think there's a lot of great discussion here on both sides of the equation. But the thing that really stands out to me is SEC, Big 12. You don't have a lot of easy games.
Yeah.
And to consistently play tough football teams week in and week out takes a toll on a football team. And that's where I think the biggest adjustment is going to come for Texas and OU, but not really Texas, because let's be honest, their schedule sucks.
It does.
It's awful. But OU's schedule is tough, really tough. And to me, that's where I think it could be tough. And you guys and everybody's going to throw. I'm glad I'm not around you, so you can't throw shit at me. But I'm an under.
Hey, exactly. And think about it like this, from this perspective. The last time, and this is just a scenario. As much as we say Arkansas is a trash team, the last time Arkansas played Texas, Arkansas destroyed them, and that was only a couple years ago.
And I felt like on the field, Texas had more talent.
Absolutely, they did, but it was all about the matchup and the entire energy around that stadium when Texas came to town.
Are you saying Texas? Are you comparing Texas to Oklahoma and what they do?
Absolutely, man.
Hell no.
I mean,
no.
OU is Texas 2.0.
You better hush. I'm gonna turn the dog loose on you. All right, on this shit. Here we go.
Hey,
they're gonna win.
You gotta get used to me trolling.
I'm gonna win 9, and I can see them winning 10. We talked about why, but Texas, they showed that they're the least physical out of the two Red River teams. Everybody's in love with Texas so much. They're the least physical. They got beat up in the trenches. Yeah, they got Quinn coming back. I get it. Quinn got his ass whipped in the Red River, and the same defense is coming back and then some for this Red River.
I got y'all beating Texas. That's why I got y'all beating Texas.
Yeah, I think.
And I feel like Texas is more of a sure win for y'all, and this is than Tennessee.
Because I disagree with that, Coach.
Look at the rest of them. Do you look at the rest of these games? And the road, I get the road stuff, and the SEC, I get all of this. I told you I could see a toss-up with Arkansas. I can see one. I can see a loss at LSU, particularly if they're any good and it's a night game. If either one of them's very good, they're probably going to be a night game because that's the last game of the season, right? But I'm telling you now, they have more talent all over the field than pretty much every they play, except for Alabama and Texas. But Texas, we already talked about that.
And LSU.
The rest of them, they have more talent.
Not LSU.
You know, guys, the Texas
years than LSU does. Yes, they do.
Guys, the Texas OU game this year was a barn burner. So you can't sit here and say that one's better than the other, because that game could have gone either way, and it can still be that way.
I'm not saying it can't go either way. I'm telling you, the way it goes most of the time is if you guys want to talk about Texas being here or whatever, I'm telling you now, the reason that I have Texas as an under, there's no way they win 11 again. And they have the easiest JV damn schedule I can see, and there's no way they win 11
with
again.
The schedule Texas has. You don't think they win 10 games?
11. They're going to lose probably to Michigan on the road. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to Michigan on the road, because the kind of game that Michigan's going to play, line up and run your ass over. They're not.
Hell, they got a new coach too. Michigan's got a new coach too. Plus, they're in the middle of scandal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You don't know what type of team is. You don't know what type of Michigan team you're gonna get.
I got that as a toss up.
But I will say that based on the schedule that Texas has, I feel like they have a better chance at winning 10, 11 games than OU does, just
because of the schedule.
They've got back-to-back. Okay, yeah, because after their back-to-backs with Oklahoma and Georgia, which even if they lose both of those games. But if they lose both those games, they don't win 11.
Yeah. If they don't, I'm not saying they win 11, but they got.
I for sure think they lose 2, but I would not be surprised if they gagged at the end of the year and lost to A&M too.
That wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah,
I don't have them winning 11, but I do have them with a better record than OU simply.
I feel like Elko is catching. I feel like Elko is catching Texas at the right time at the end of that year, at the end of the season. We'll see how it goes, man.
I like Elko as the coach, dog.
I think I want everybody to keep sleeping on it. I'm just letting y'all know. And on this, I'm going to say what I got to say about it. I've had them at 9-3. I believe in 9-3. I can theoretically see 8-4, but I can also just as easily see 10-2. Either way, that's over 7.5. Either way, that's over 7.5. And I don't think it's going to be that close. I think that they're better than a lot of these teams. They could lose some games that they, maybe you say they shouldn't lose, but they could also win some games that they probably shouldn't win too. I believe that this is the kind of team you're going to find. And if Jackson Arnold is as good as we all think he is, even in, I think everybody's in deep shit. If Jackson Arnold looks as good as he possibly can, if that defense is right where we think it is, then you're in deep shit. But it's going to take, I still say 2025 is the year, guys. I've been saying that.
We're going to see, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for SEC Media Days. I'm ready to see what type of presence Texas has. I'm ready to see what type of presence OU has. I don't give a damn. I'm trying. Even if I don't have credentials for SEC Media Days, I'm going as a fan. I'm in there. You know what I mean? I gotta come.
Is like the thing about Sark too. That's the other thing that I throw out there is, man, it's Sark.
Sark is doing his thing, bro. He's recruiting at a high level.
He's been a head coach.
He's coaching his ass off.
Washington, USC, and Texas for 10 years, and he's got one above 10 win season. He ain't that freaking good.
I think sometimes it's like a guy who is missing all his shots, and then he needs to see a free throw go in, and then he, from there on, he's good. I think them going to the playoffs gave Texas a little. And again, I'm not saying that Texas is better than OU. I'm saying Texas's record at the end of the season will be better than possibility,
OU. But because of who they're playing. But you got to remember this too.
I know. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, dog. But you got to let me finish my point before you jump in here. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the schedule, like the wins that I got them with 9 straight wins outright. And I think they're going to beat Michigan because of all the stuff that they're going through. But I got that as a push because it's at Michigan. Like the wins that they got, they're over trash teams. But again, that doesn't. I got y'all beaten. Like y'all are one of the 2 losses I gave them. I gave them y'all and us. But I don't even think you can dispute the wins that I'm talking about. Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi State, whoever, CSU, Colorado State, UTSA, ULM, Vandy, and A&M. Like, bro, what does A&M like? Bro, A&M's been trash, and you put me on that when I said that
they have.
Because I said Elko, he been a better coach. He was like, well, that's just Texas A&M history. And if you look back at it doesn't matter who the coach is at Texas A&M. So when you look at those 9 wins, and all they got to do out of the other 3 is win 1 more to win 10 games, I think they Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but
I just don't see it winning 11 is what I'm getting at. I've got them under 11 because of that, and I definitely have them losing to Oklahoma. What I'm getting at is that it's before I wouldn't be super surprised to watch them drop one of them games that they're not supposed to either.
Those ones that I named, bro, they did not drop in the game to Arkansas, bro.
Nah,
Florida fans will tell you that. Go ask Hot Top if he think Florida gonna beat Texas. Like, come on, man.
Shit.
Like, Arkansas beat
Florida last year.
They got a trash.
Arkansas win and won in the swamp last year.
Right. But that's you talking about 2 bottom tier teams from 2023. Who cares if they win? We're talking about a top talent team, a top tier team playing against. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
I think they have to. It's kind of like with Ole Miss, though. I think that a lot of things are going to have to go right with their portal stuff because they replaced their entire receiving corps. They replaced their tight end.
Which is why I got you. Watch this. What I told. I even told Shawty earlier today. I think you guys lost some pieces. I think Texas does, but I think Texas lost more key pieces, especially with those wide receivers. So, and then also, you guys play Texas every single year. You've beaten Texas outside of the Brent Venables first year. Like that's why I didn't even make that a push. I made that outright win. I made that an outright win for OU. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, it's like some of these teams, like whether it be quarterback,
I feel like if he doesn't win 10 games, that's not a good season at all. If he doesn't win 10 games.
Right. I'm in definitely.
That's a bad season because
if he doesn't win 10 games, that's a failure on Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, that's a step back. That's a step back, man. I mean, so you'll make a college football playoff, but I mean, well,
right. He
but at 93, he could. Yeah, he could.
Yeah,
he could. But it's still, I feel like if looking at the schedule again, I got Michigan as a push. I'm giving Michigan a little credit, but I'm just looking at that. I don't see how they're going to beat Texas with Texas, but it's on the road. So, it's the big house, 100,000 people. Maybe Sharon got some stuff up his sleeve. First year coach, everything is actually stacked against Michigan in that game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even that game, if Sark comes away from that, like, let's say Michigan beats them by double digits, like that's a bad look. That's a bad look.
It is.
Look at all the turnover they've had, but
well, have a brand new quarterback too, and even though it's in the big house, but I think that Michigan plays the kind of ball game that'll hurt Sark. That run over your ass,
because Sharon's going to run the ball. I can tell you that. Yeah, for sure. That's why, like I say, I got that as a push. But again, a lot of this boils down to Texas has a cake schedule. They bring back a quarterback. They bring back a quarterback who people think are going to be like one of the top 5 quarterbacks taken. And then on the reverse side, only talking about how the season ends, not talking about the head-to-head. And then on the reverse side, Oklahoma has a way harder schedule with the brand new quarterback. It's like,
no, I get it. I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from.
So I mean, I got Oklahoma.
I don't get it. The unders is the people that are saying under and all this.
I ain't got them under
because then I'm not going to sit here and hey, I'm looking right at you, coach. I think that's bullshit, and I think it's bullshit.
Hey, hey. Now give me 1 second to talk without interrupting. I'm giving you shit because there's no way that they're not going to win
7
the
games,
over. Right? I mean, I just had to light your fire a little bit more tonight because it's already running pretty high.
It is.
Oh, yeah, you love it up there a little bit.
Love it.
If somebody says they won't win 7 games, that's kind of
they're just trolling, man.
I was jacking with you.
Well, and that's where you've got a lot of this. I think that you are hearing a lot of that. You've got 6.5 is what it is now at FanDuel. They've got it bet to 6.5.
And see, I will say
they know something we don't know, man.
I'm not agreeing with FanDuel, but I don't know anything about Houston's football team, and I don't know if they count that as a push.
Well, Houston,
I can tell you,
Houston's got. Hey, look, they got the coach for Willie Fritz for Tulane. So
yeah, but I don't know about their personnel. Like I get that I like Willie Fritz. I think he's a good coach. But when you talking about Jimmy's,
but
and Joe's,
there's no reason why they should lose that game. The non-conference game should not be a loss. Period.
Well, see, that's what I was about to say. Like when we talked about it when Vegas.
That's a bad loss.
When Vegas does the totals, I mean, you do, but Mo, and some of the people watching, they give out pushes. I'm assuming I gave y'all a straight up win for Texas. I'm assuming Vegas is giving you a push for Texas because Vegas loves Quinn Ewers. Vegas loves Sark because he just made it to the college football playoff. So I'm assuming that's a push for them. I'm assuming they're giving you a loss for the Bama game just straight up. I gave y'all a push for that game. I'm assuming because it's Bama and old boy just played in the national championship, DeBoer. They're giving y'all. I'm not saying it's right. I'm trying to say, like, if people looking at it like, why would they do 7.5?
I think you have to assume that they're going to lose all those games that are push games.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
And that's not the assumption that I know any Oklahoma fans are going to make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that, and rightfully so. I think that rightfully so. If you know this football team, they may lose some of them. I've been
just with those two changes,
it turns into 6.
If Vegas gave y'all a push for Texas and a loss to Bama, that would change my 8.5 to their 7.5. You see what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah, I got it.
Vegas knows something we don't know.
That's because you like Mizzou over them, and you like, and you also think that Ole Miss. You said, right?
I got Mizzou as a push. Yeah. But I'm just looking at mine. Like, if I got Mizzou, I got Mizzou as a push, and I do have Ole Miss as a. That's the only straight up loss I gave y'all. I gave y'all Ole Miss as the straight up loss. Yeah.
Right.
So, like, I get Temple, Houston, Tulane, Maine, and South Carolina. Like, I think Vegas is giving y'all wins for those. You know what I'm saying? And I think Vegas is also giving y'all pushes for, everybody except for one or two teams. Like you said, I think they're giving a loss. I think they're giving Oklahoma a loss for Bama and a push. I don't know,
man. I think Maine is going to be a problem.
Shut up.
I'm just joking.
Yeah,
I'm just messing around.
When I saw FanDuel, it was 7.5. So
yeah, and it is. I think it may be back to 7.5 at this point. But either way, I know it started at 6.5, and that's where I saw one from just the other day. There's somebody put a graphic up there with them at 6.5.
What I would say is, and this is credit to Shawty. I was talking to Shawty earlier today on the phone, and he said, if OU fans believe disrespect is in order for the 7.5 total, everybody should be betting that 7.5 over.
I
like on Vegas, on Vegas, like going to FanDuel or whatever platform you use to bet. If you feel disrespected by the 7.5,
you better
put a paycheck on it. Put a paycheck on it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I second that motion.
I already have money on it.
Y'all have a lot of confidence.
See, that's exactly. See, that's a man that stands by what he believes. You put money on it. You say that's disrespect.
And y'all just remember what I was saying about the team from last year and what I said about Lincoln and them and what I saw from them. I'm not stupid when I start calling these things. I'm not saying that. I'm not just doing it out of fandom. I can, I know this game a little bit. There's Shawty right there. What's up, Shawty?
Shout out to everybody, man. Respect everybody. I just want to call in. I don't want to get on. I'm gonna hop off right after this. I just want to try to study. Yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. Coach I, Coach Arball. Shout out to my homeboy. I know he is Hog Wild podcast.
Yeah. SEC Mo.
Yeah, SEC Mo. Shout out to Jason, man. Hey, listen, I just called in. I'm gonna hop right back off. I just want to start some shit. Look here. My question is this. Oklahoma just coming off a 10-win season. Next year, you're predicting 9-3, 8-4, 10-2. If you win less than 10 games, is that a step back or is that part of the schedule?
Is the SEC good or is the SEC not good? Is that you're telling me the SEC is so much better than if they don't win 10 games but they win 9? Is it a step back? I'll ask the same question to you.
I called in to ask the question. I called in to ask the question, and then you add me a question.
But you've been
telling me how much better the SEC is. Is it a step
No.
back?
I didn't. Hold on. That's why I called in, because I know I'm gonna start some shit. I didn't tell you nothing, Jason. I called in and asked a question. My question to you, I'm gonna say it again. You won 10 games last year. If you don't win 10 games this year,
they win 9 or even 8. It depends on what it looks like. But no, you got a new quarterback, which you said yourself. You got a new quarterback, a new trigger man. I hear it all the time from you, Shawty. And then all the time we hear from all you SEC folks about how hard it is in the SEC.
You're in the SEC now, buddy. It ain't y'all SEC folks. You're in the SEC now,
I'm
Jason.
Telling you though, but we
gotta own that.
You can't. I'm gonna throw that one right back.
I want to answer the question. I see we running all the way around the bush.
But y'all been talking about how but y'all been talking about how easy it is. Though.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach. That's why I just need an answer to the question. He running all the way around the bush. I just asked a simple question.
When did I ever say it was easy?
Hey, Jason, y'all have been Mars, Miss Kim.
Stop
it. You don't.
Who else was it?
All the comments over here, but you haven't said it, Jason. But you don't.
9-3. 9-3. What does 9-3 tell you?
Hang on.
I think my job accomplished.
You don't always have to say it, but
imply it.
Everything speaks to it.
Yeah,
right.
Because I mean,
I believe they have a chance to win 10. And I think a lot of it's going to depend on the quarterback. I do.
But it goes back to the same thing, guys, we were talking about. We can't have it two different ways because this whole group just said that if Texas loses less or doesn't win 10 games, it's a step back.
No, that's not the same thing, Coach. Come on. Look at the freaking schedule. Oklahoma's SEC opponent won
just said
60 games last year. 60. Texas's SEC opponent.
And I will agree with that, Jason.
Oklahoma and Texas, they were 14 games below 500.
And I'll take that. I'll take that.
And this to Coach Roy's point, he said, sometimes you don't have to say it. You don't like this statement that I'm about to read is one of the comments. It's not saying that the SEC is not good, but it's just saying that it ain't as good as people say. More. Kim said there's the top 3 teams in the SEC are legit. After that, basically saying like there's 11 other teams that really aren't that.
But people outside of the SEC say that, but when they get to the SEC, they become those teams.
I think you're going to find out that, but
it's short starting stuff.
Outside of what the Oklahoma fan is going to say.
I said my job was accomplished.
I love it.
But the thing is this. Let me just say this. Let's say based on Shawty's question, he said,
I'm gonna tell you like I told
y'all are coming off a 10-win season.
Same as Arkansas, bro. I'm just gonna tell you like I told
y'all aren't. No, I'm not debating that. I'm just about to answer Shawty's question from my
don't change the topic.
Yeah. I'm just about
to answer after Mo. After Mo.
If Oklahoma came into the SEC after a 10-win season in the Big 12, I would say 7-5 is an admirable feat in the SEC.
No, it ain't. Bullshit.
Okay.
See, and there's that's exactly
between an Arkansas fan and an Oklahoma fan. That's
exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to say it. You just did without saying it.
What?
I wouldn't be mad at 7-5 for Oklahoma for the simple fact that, bro.
So that's assuming that all these quote unquote toss-up games, they're going to lose them all, and there's no way that you can assume that if you're.
But that's
that's not how toss-up games. That's
a possibility, Jason.
Hold up, that's not how toss-up games work. Toss-up games mean if there's 4 toss-up games, you win 2 of them, you lose 2 of them. That's how toss-up games work. It doesn't mean if all 4 of them, because if you lost all the toss-up games, you wouldn't even win 7.
I've got 3 toss-up games and a loss, but I'm saying. So that's where I'm coming to 9-3.
And again, I'm giving y'all credit for beating Texas, but this all started because
I'm taking the under. I'm taking the 6-5, man.
I wish you would. Lose that money.
I'm taking the under.
That's all good. Hey,
y'all might not even go to a bowl game this season.
You can sleep on it.
So I mean, ultimately, guys, I think I did what I came to do, but I still don't know the answer, Jason. Is it a step back or is it the schedule?
At 9 wins, no.
Okay. So it's the schedule. So is it the schedule?
Yeah. I mean, what's
okay? I respect the reason I'm saying it is if it's scheduled, it's because now you understand what we mean by schedule. Because
I'm looking at the schedule. I know who's got the hard schedule. I believe that. I'm saying that it's a step back if Texas does that because they have a team that is playing.
We're talking about Oklahoma. Stay on task, Jason. We stay on task. Though we're talking about Oklahoma.
One of the questions was asked to me. Why is it not you're saying that it's a step back for Texas and it's not for OU?
I think it's a step back for Texas because asked that question. Yeah. I personally think 8 wins or better is good in the first year of the SEC with a new quarterback. If you don't win 8 games, if you go 7-5.
I don't think that's good at all. I think you're in deep shit if you're Brent Venables.
I think right then you see that something got to be done because that's the talent that you have.
His seat will be warm for 20 and 25 if he goes 7.
I'll tell you what.
Now you see where I'm going. Now you see what I'm going.
It's going to come down to depth. How much depth does Oklahoma really have? Because you're going to get some injuries this season, bro. just be prepared for.
I think that their schedule, I think that their depth is good. I think
take Florida State for example. We all know what happened to them.
This ain't Florida State, bro. Either.
I'm
So, hold on. Can I address a question? Can I address a question in the comments, Jason?
Sure.
Hank, I don't know who Hank was asking, but Hank, I'm gonna answer. He said, "Can you name 4 above average offenses on the schedule?" I mean, if we assuming based off of their, we can only assume based off their 2023, right, Hank?
Man,
so
but this is the difference between the big.
Hold on, 2023. So if we going based off because we haven't seen them play in 2024. So if we go based off of that, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU, all had better than average offenses. So I mean, I don't know if that answers your question. But.
Well, let me just interject right now.
On the schedule, he did say on his schedule.
This is where OU fans have it twisted. The SEC isn't built off offense. We're a defensive conference. Point blank. Period. Our teams revolve around defense.
Right, but
you get what I'm saying?
I'll go back
you
to
can score as many points. You can score as many points as you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's not what he was saying, though. He was saying showing him an offense that's going to really blow up on Oklahoma with their defense being better is what he's getting at.
I took the whole SEC. I took the whole SEC. I meant Hank asked about you guys' Oklahoma schedule. So looking at the Oklahoma schedule, I think LSU's offense would be above average. Mizzou, Tennessee.
Is LSU's offense above average without Texas?
I've seen Nussmeier up close and personal. I think he is.
So. But with a new coordinator and all that too. I mean,
but you're assuming
receivers out there. I mean,
but this is LSU, and if you go back years and years and years, they always recruit like even when you don't know their receivers. And I had somebody point that out to me. They always keep receivers. I don't know what it is, but they always keep receivers.
OBJ and
but I'm talking about even the ones you don't even know. Like, we all knew Malik Labors this year, but the other two, like Thomas guy, he was the one that scored all the touchdowns. So it's like, when we talk about above average, I'm like,
he was a beast.
So Texas, even though I think he's gonna beat Texas, he just asked for 4 above average offenses in the SEC. Texas is an above average offense in the SEC.
Absolutely.
Y'all got to be ready for the season to start, baby.
I'm sorry, Coach Rob. I'm sorry, Coach Rob. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so Texas, LSU, Mizzou, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. Those 5. Yeah, Texas, LSU, Mizzou, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. Those 5 have above average offenses. Again, I only picked one of those as a loss for OU, by the way. So, but those just talking offense, so, like you know what I'm saying. So that's what to answer Hank's question. So,
who is OU's first game, Jason?
SEC game is Tennessee. The first SEC game is Tennessee at home. Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good one, man. I might drive to Norman just because I want to go.
Yeah,
come on, let's do it. We'll be there. It's gonna be fun.
And the only reason why I won't say Bama has an above average offense is I know I like DeBoer as an offensive, like
just don't have a QB.
I don't know what the QB because I think Jalen Miro is a heck of an athlete and playmaker. I just don't know if he fits in DeBoer's system. That's the problem.
Let me ask y'all this.
So
what's up, Shawty?
FanDuel had only 2 teams winning 10 games, right?
Right.
Yep.
Let me ask you guys this for the whole panel. What teams you have winning 10 games?
Bama and Georgia.
I had Bama and Georgia winning. Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss. When I did my win totals, I had Georgia at 11, Bama at 10, and Ole Miss at 10.
I got Ole Miss up there as well. I ain't even gonna lie. I think Ole Miss is going. When we talk about offense,
give me your 10 win teams.
Bama and Georgia.
I want to see how inaccurate FanDuel was.
I got Bama and Georgia.
And they didn't have Bama. Yeah, they did. No, they had
Bama at 9.5.
Yeah.
I got Georgia. We all know Georgia has the chance to go undefeated. The only reason I'm picking the over for Alabama is for the simple fact that they have the talent. They may not have the depth anymore, but they have the initial talent to overcome a tough schedule. Right. And I also think that DeBoer is a capable enough coach to scheme to his team for the time being until he can bring in who he wants to bring in.
So right now, FanDuel is batting 50% because two guys have both had Georgia, and then you had two different teams for the other team to be a 10-win team.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I just want I'm keeping track because I want to see how inaccurate they are.
Yeah. Like I said,
and here's the thing: Caesars, nobody at Vegas has really picked this yet. This is FanDuel, and that's assuming that they're Vegas, and they're not Vegas. So,
no. That's what I say. I didn't say Vegas. I said FanDuel specifically.
Yeah. We're gonna
Jason,
find out. We're gonna find out the difference.
Let me ask you this, Jason. Let's say the Vegas lines come out, bro, and they got Oklahoma sitting at 6 and but like at 6 and whatever.
No.
How are you going to know? At 6.5. I'm
They'll
just saying.
I think that they might have it at 7.5 because that seems to be where you can get some action at already. Here's the thing. If you go to 6.5 in your Vegas, and you got to remember this about Vegas, they don't just put a line up there because that's guaranteed what they think it is. They also do it. There's a lot of it has to do with what kind of action can they get on a game without putting themselves at risk.
But then you say
they don't want lopsided betting on one side of it or the other. They want it to be equal.
That's why I asked the question. Y'all got off subject. That's why I asked the question. I literally asked, I said specifically FanDuel, and I want to see how inaccurate they are. That's why I asked the question.
I think
because once you answer the question, it's going to show you how inaccurate or how accurate they are.
Based on your 8.5 is where they probably should have it to get if you wanted to be right about it. I mean, I'm saying 9.
No, I was asking how many teams are going to be 10-win teams. They had only 2 teams projected to be 10-win teams.
I think it's hard for more than 2 to win 10, isn't it? I mean,
it's going to be a lot of bloodshed.
It's going to work out. There's going to be a lot of blood. So
that's why I'm asking the question, guys.
That's just the nature.
I gave my 3. Yeah,
that's just the nature of the SEC, man. I mean, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. I mean, you still got your Georgia, and you still got your Alabama sitting at the top.
Fred Bagley said 7.5 is fair.
So that question was too hard to answer. I'm sorry.
I gave you my.
I heard you. I'm not talking about you. I heard.
Okay. I heard you.
We heard.
I'm just asking before I get off because I'm not on the call.
Hey, Shawty.
Go ahead, Coach.
So Jason, how many? Oh, go, Coach. Go. How many teams you got winning 10?
No, I definitely have Georgia there, and I don't know who the other one is. As I look at everybody's schedules, there's several that could end up with 10, but I think 2 is going to be could be the max because just of the way the schedules are.
Could end up with 3. Texas should win 10 with that schedule. I don't know that they do, but I think they should.
Yeah,
I've got Texas winning it. I don't have Alabama winning 10.
The only one I can lock in though is Georgia. That's I mean.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Y'all know that, guys. Why everybody sitting on the fence? It ain't like this the Bible. It's just a question. Go out on the limb. Give me a number 2 team. Y'all, everybody's skating.
I just said Texas should win 10. Georgia should win. Georgia's going to win at least 10.
Okay.
I think they're going to. I've got them over.
So there's Jason's 2. He said Texas and Georgia.
I've been saying that. You just need to clean your ears out, Shawty. Damn.
Okay. Okay.
I'm running.
I hear you standing on this now. Yeah. Now I've heard 3.
To Bucky's. Shout out to Bucky's.
Yeah. So Mo, who'd you say was going to win 10 games? Just Georgia?
No, I said Georgia and Alabama. Like I said, okay. I think the board's going to be able to hold it together until he can get his guys in there.
Oklahoma could too.
The biggest question mark I have with Alabama is QB. You know what I mean? If he can find the answer there, they'll win games.
Right. I mean, we talking like to Shawty's question, he's talking about who we think could. I mean, it's a couple of teams that's right on the cusp for me, but but the ones I would go out on a limb to say, I got 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Bama again. Like, does Bama have a hard schedule?
Nah,
it ain't hard
don't.
like Oklahoma. Hard.
Nah. Alabama has.
It's not easy, but it's not.
They've
hard.
got the same schedule as OU, pretty much.
No, they play.
LSU,
Okay, listen to
LSU,
these wins.
Tennessee,
So I got
Georgia.
so listen, I got 8 teams right here. So they got Western Kentucky, South Florida, Vandy, South Carolina, Mercer. They play Auburn at home. They never have trouble with Auburn at home. Y'all got to go to Auburn. That's what the difference. That's why I say this. So that's why when I say their schedule ain't that hard, and then in reverse, when you play the same team, it might be that hard. They play LSU at home. They play Auburn at home.
You said it's not going to be tough, but
right.
Hugh Freeze is the only guy that is the only dude out of the coaches there that's beaten Saban twice.
At Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss.
Ole Miss when he had a way better team, a way better quarterback at Ole Miss on the road, but they're not in Tuscaloosa in Titletown.
I've said this about Auburn earlier. I think that they, man, if they have to go with the quarterback that they were playing last year, losing in Mexico State with, I don't trust them for shit. And this is why I say that Oklahoma is going to probably
like
win
if
that.
you look at the pushes that I have, again, pushes. You know, I got 4 games as pushes. If they win 2 or lose 2, that's 10 games. You know, that's 10 wins. I got OU, Tennessee, UGA, and LSU. And again, LSU, OU, Tennessee, they play all 3 of them on the road. If they was playing at Titletown, it might look a little different. Oh, you see, they playing UGA at home, but I feel like we're just a better team in their quarterback. Again, we don't know what's going on. So,
Shawty, Shawty, who are the teams you picked
to win 10?
Shit, I can be like y'all, just be easy, say Georgia, yeah, for sure.
Come on, drop them balls like you've been pushing us to do. Come on,
right. Don't sit on the fence. Hey, your boy didn't sit on the fence. I came straight with it. So don't.
Coach, I'm finna let my nuts hang all over the fence. I just gotta, you know what I'm saying, talk shit about y'all because how some of y'all was on the fence. But Trevor, I'm gonna let my nuts hang all over the fence. So
who are they?
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm with FanDuel. I like Texas.
Just because of the schedule.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, the schedule.
So SEC, thank you. That's my whole point. I wasn't trying to be funny. You know, I was talking a little shit, but my whole point was that's why I asked the question, was it because you're taking a step back or the schedule?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I said 8 wins on a regular basis is for OU is admirable.
No, that's not admirable.
Hold on. Don't let me finish. Don't interject, because then people here are gonna think that's what Coach I was saying. That's not what Coach I said. 8 wins on a regular basis is not good for OU. 8 wins first year in the SEC with a new quarterback is acceptable for OU. Now, 8 wins in 2025 is not acceptable.
Absolutely not. And it will not be acceptable thereafter either. That's not ever going to be an acceptable number. And this is the difference between.
Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Like only this year, because of the circumstances.
All I can say is this:
quarterback and first year. If OU would have had a high school defense, would they have won? I don't know. I mean, I can't talk about what ifs. I can talk about what happened though.
All I can say is this: y'all better.
And they should have won the damn game.
I'll say this to that, Kim. I'll say this to that. If you're talking X's and O's, that could be the assumption, but y'all didn't lose because of the defense. Y'all lost because Lincoln Riley made bad coaching decisions in the second half.
Y'all better get ready for it.
Even if you have a better defense, Lincoln Riley still makes those bad decisions, and we
correct.
Still
That's exactly what I was going to say. It had nothing to do with that. Look, that was the one year. That was the first year Lincoln was there. They still had the size to win that game. They still. We talked about this. We talked about this a lot on this channel for sure. Is guys, the difference. That was their best opportunity. I'm not saying for sure that Baker was their best quarterback or even that they had the best skill guys during that time. I'm going to tell you right now, the defense was only a small part of the issue there. The problem has always been Lincoln's ass and the fact that he's going to make bad decisions. And then he turned around and softened them up too and didn't have them. You know, when he fired Schmitty and brought in the freaking yoga instructor, they were never better than they were that year.
Right. So that's the answer to that one, Kim. Appreciate that. Was a good question. Appreciate it.
So let's say
SEC mode, What you going?
I was gonna say, man, OU may need to get prepared for a continuous coaching search, because if 8-5 ain't good enough,
Ooh, you talking Shawty talk now.
Brother,
I'm just
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right.
You
gotta stop. This dude is out recruiting everybody in the SEC except for 2.
I'm just saying, man, y'all better get ready for a continuous coaching search. Y'all might end up with Sam Pittman.
No.
He'll be looking for a job. You know he's an Oklahoma guy.
No,
that's why I keep asking you guys about the SEC record. I don't give a damn about the overall record. It's gonna be the SEC record.
They're not gonna lose to their freaking non-con opponents, so that they lose 2 or 3.
I'm saying, if you're going 4-4 in the SEC, then you going 8-4 overall, or 9-4 overall. That don't really mean anything.
This year, there will be enough excuses for him to. 8-4 is about all if he goes in 7-5 first year, it's gonna get hot. It's gonna get hot around there. 2025 will become you better freaking win year.
You're putting that type of asking
that question for the long
shit on it. I'm not telling you that's what I feel like. I feel like they are building towards a national championship. I think he's the guy. No 2 ways around it. I think he's the guy.
So, but I'm telling you, his seat's getting hot.
They would have shit canned Sam Pittman at week 3 when they lost to BYU. His ass would have been gone.
So what's the tread water line? 9-3.
I think 9-3. 8-4. He's going to be okay. Then he better do something in 25, or he's going to be hot for 26. If he wins 8 games in his first year, they're still going to. I mean, not everybody's going to be happy, because you know how it is in these fan bases.
No, so I'm saying, so you cool from going winning 10 games and winning 8, and you fine with that progress, or how? I don't know if that's progress. That progress?
Yes, man. Yes, okay. I am.
That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking earlier. So
how many times I gotta answer it, Shawty? Damn, listen.
No. I'm not saying that. Was saying that's what I was asking earlier. So now I'm just trying. Now I get where you coming from. So it sounds like it's gonna be more based off the schedule, which is what I was saying. All things are really not created equal. I was really kind of.
I mean, the trigger man part of it. I mean, you got a brand new quarterback. I think he's more talented than Dylan, but he doesn't have the same experience or anything like that. You got to hope he grows up fast. So I think they're going to take that into consideration, huh?
The show's going off the rails. I'm looking at the comments.
Hey, bro, that's what I do, coach. I throw shit all the way out.
Now we got people talking about OU championships and Georgia championships. Y'all can have 10 bad years. I can tell you right now, Kirby stayed at Georgia 10 years and y'all don't win another one. You better screenshot that comment right there. How about that?
I think that's harsh, Jason.
If you don't think Georgia got a chance to win 3 championships in the next 10 years with Kirby at the helm, and Oklahoma,
crazy. Whoever said that is crazy.
Stop it,
bro. Stop
it.
Whoever said that is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think that Georgia is the cream of the conference right now.
It's in the comments. I know you. I know what you believe, Jason. I'm just saying.
I know where but I also. I believe the question is, though, I think you guys seem to think too, and a lot of guys seem to think. I think Oklahoma's further along.
No, I think it's unrealistic for them to have, based off of their rankings, they have you guys basically ranked at the number 10th best team in the SEC.
Yeah,
and that's hard to believe. But
they got y'all one game above Arkansas.
But I'm saying, but when you look at the numbers, it also, you can understand their argument just based off the numbers. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
In the schedule.
Here's the one thing that people, part of the reason that this all goes on is because, hell, people want to believe that Oklahoma ain't going to be worth the shit. They want to believe that because they've been beaten up on most of the country for a lot of years. Not winning the Natty doesn't mean you didn't still have one of the best programs in the country for the last 20 years. They've got more wins total since 2000 than anybody.
But look at the
Anybody.
look at the conference.
Brother, don't start with that. From 2000, the Big 12 was a better conference at that time.
How many championships does OU have?
That shit. The Big 12 was a better conference in 2000.
To 2000 to 2005, yeah.
So what was the last national championship OU had?
2000.
In 2000.
We do too,
but they played in Nebraska.
But it sounds like y'all win a lot of games
until
but
Nebraska
don't win the most important game.
They were all that. Nebraska is a true blue blood too. They ain't doing shit in the Big Ten. But that was, and they had to deal with, before, the Big 12 used to have Colorado too, and they always were really good. Tell me they weren't. They were better than Arkansas's ass. Come on.
I couldn't tell you a star Colorado player to save my life. Other than Shador Sanders.
Boy, you're gonna have to start going back. You're gonna have
Cordell. Come on now, Cordell Stewart, dog. Come on, Cordell Stewart.
Sean
Airbnb, Cordell Stewart.
That's different.
They had some dudes, bro. They had some.
Those
dudes.
was back in the 90s.
I'm just messing with.
They went to the pack. They sucked. They sucked at the pack. But they weren't.
The SEC's been the best conference the last 20 years. Before that,
down.
Big 12 could kind of Mike could battle.
And that's a fact check for Jason too. It was the last 20 years.
It hasn't been 20 years yet. It hasn't been 20 years.
No, you said 10 years. The playoff. Hold on.
It's closer to 15, 16 years. You're right about it, but it ain't 20. It ain't.
They don't want to championship in 20 years.
LSU won the BCS championship in 2003, and from then on, the SEC has won 14 out of the last 20. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. 14 out of 20. That's pretty much.
All that, but here's the point: is that there wasn't a lot of years. What's
the point?
There wasn't a lot of years that every team in the SEC was going to beat Oklahoma.
Well, that wasn't what you said. You said the SEC. You said the SEC's only been the best conference the last 2 years. That's what you said
the other day, and I'm
you wasn't there.
More like 15, 16 years. Yes.
Stay on top.
20, dog.
20. So you're saying 03 from 03 to now. We're gonna have to go back and look at that. I gotta see that.
I looked at it. Jason, we have won the last 14. I'm sorry.
Just winning the national championship doesn't mean the whole conference was better, and you know that shit.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
I beg to differ.
Same with the Big 12.
Which means that when we get into the BCS championship, we're playing outside of the conference, and if the other conference was that much better and we wasn't good, then they should have beat us, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even an SEC type of guy, and I'm just telling you that's the fact.
I'm not even hating on the SEC either. I'm telling you that there was a time,
2 decades, though,
a good long time.
At this point, Jason, just accept it, bro. You're a part of the SEC now, so you can say you're a part of the best conference in the nation.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oklahoma doesn't duck anybody.
No,
they don't.
Yes, they will, Mars. I'm calling my shot. I'm calling my shot. Mars wants to know if Georgia don't win the championship, and I'm saying yes.
Hey, Coach Ruball. See, listen, this is a lesson for Jason. Don't never put too many more opposing positions on your show, because you ain't got enough teammates on you. You outnumbered. You don't put yourself in that hole. So don't never do this again.
I can argue with you guys all day long. You know I can. You know I can.
I'm just gonna troll and talk about Arkansas.
I don't need no help from nobody.
See, Notre Dame don't have no alliance. They don't have no conference. See, we can talk shit about the SEC. See, Notre Dame, they good. That's why Coach just sitting back there chilling.
Yep. He ain't got a dog in the fight.
You got it.
I tell you what.
This
was a great inaugural show.
To be in the conference, they better not lose more than one game if they're not going to be in the conference.
I think they can go 10-2 and still make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Not this year with that damn schedule. Shit.
Right? Yeah. Like, dog, 10-2, Notre Dame almost got in a couple of times in the playoff era when there was only 4 slots. Like, dog, Notre Dame is just different. That's
they're going to do it for money.
We all accept it.
It's possible, but
we all accept it.
We're talking
10-2. Hey, 10-2, we're in.
I'm telling you, 10-2 Notre Dame's in the they in the
out of
playoffs,
12
dog.
teams. Out of 12 teams, yes.
Yeah, 10-2 they in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, Michigan, all we do is win. I don't do that anyway. I don't really care what happens with the rest of the team, as long as Georgia do good. I mean, I like being in the SEC, and the facts are the facts that, you know, it doesn't matter how you want to look at the conference, whether it be recruiting talent, NFL talent, championships, or whatever. You can't argue that the SEC has been the best conference. It doesn't matter like how you want to break it down. The SEC has been the best conference.
Well, let me
go back and go through a lot of that. But the truth is, they've won the national championship 14 of the last 20. That's fine.
Right.
It doesn't.
And again, recruiting talent and NFL prospects as well.
Absolutely.
That's
hey guys, I'm going to change the topic on you guys a little bit here, because this was kind of brought up earlier a little bit. But if Notre Dame has to go to a conference, is it going to be the Big Ten or the SEC? What do y'all believe?
Big Ten.
I say Big Ten.
And why?
I say Big Ten.
It's in Big Ten country. I feel like the region. I think some of your I think outside of Southern Cal, some of your built-in hate. I'm not going, rivalries depends. It's Michigan. It's the, what I'm saying? It's Michigan State, Ohio State. You have that, and they have that.
Even
proximity.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was a little bit of Wisconsin. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, and if you go back to way back, I mean, I think they might have had a little something with Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? It's I feel like all the built-in rivalry. I think Notre Dame's going to sell itself. It doesn't really matter, but it just seems almost like a fish out of water coming to the SEC.
Can I say this right here?
Yeah.
And I tell you from a, somewhat of an experience perspective.
Okay.
And I've said this in comparison to Colorado. I think you guys have maybe heard me say this before, and I'm not being funny.
Right.
I had a recruiting visit scheduled. I was going to fly from Atlanta to Purdue, from Purdue to Notre Dame. I was going to have a double visit.
Okay.
But previous to that, I had just come from Boston College.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you. To that question, I think they would be better suited for the Big Ten. And I'm saying that from a geographical standpoint, from a shooting standpoint, because once I found out what that Boston cold was like, because when I went there, like the coat that I had, Boston had to buy me another coat. The coat that I had it was worthless.
Sure. No, I get you. So, and when I'm Shawty, I agree.
I counseled the Notre Dame coach was at the Atlanta airport. And I canceled my visit. I was like, bro, I'm not going to Notre Dame. It's just too cold.
I went to Notre Dame in 2014, dog, and it was raining and it was a little bit like cold. It had been snowing outside of South Bend, and it was just it gets cold down here in the South. I mean,
but not like that.
But not like that, bro. I was sitting there. I was like, man, this is a beautiful campus. I be honest with you, one of the as far as y'all didn't even have the jumbotron when I went. It was just you couldn't even watch.
Oh wow,
it's unbelievable, right?
But when you look at the field, if you grew up a football fan, when you look at the field and I saw the little slanted lines, I was like, God, it's so beautiful. But it's too cold up here, bro. Like I don't know how anybody comes up here.
So, Coach, when I was going to the visits on the jumbotron, like they actually had you would walk so. That's just like when I went to Boston College, and I took a visit to Kentucky. Like they would give you have your little jersey. They put your jersey with your name on it, and you will walk out on the field and on the jumbotron. They'll show you an introduction, which introducing Dad Parker, blah blah blah. So they had all that stuff, but bro, it was just so cold. Like I said, I canceled my visit. I would never go to another cold place. I just couldn't do it.
You're right. Well, you guys have actually. That's exactly, and we talked about it a little bit earlier before Coach I got on, and that was my thing is Big Ten makes sense to us, and I was just wondering, do you think the SEC would put up any kind of a fight to try to get
I think they would, because it's such a money getter, though. I think they would put
I don't think it's a fight. It's gonna be Notre Dame's choice. They're gonna go where they want to go.
I think that's the thing. I think Notre Dame's choice, but I don't think and this is what I'll say. My bad, Jason. Oh, actually, go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. You was already.
Here's what I'm going to tell you from what I know of the guys that not just content creators, but reporters and stuff that are close to the Notre Dame program. There's a lot of people at Notre Dame that would tell the Big Ten to jump in a fucking lake.
Yeah, no, and that's the past history. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm gonna tell you what, because they shut down they didn't let them in because of Catholicism. That's why. I've heard it recently that they don't give a fuck about the Big Ten, Michigan especially, and Ohio State also. They kept them out, and there are a lot of people that are important at Notre Dame they won't. They're not going to ever be okay with the Big Ten. Never.
See, y'all know more about that, but I look at it like this: like when me and Shawty talked about how, like, if certain teams wanted a coach like Kirby would demand certain things. I think that Notre Dame has a brand that they can demand certain things that the SEC wouldn't be willing to give up, type deal. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's but from a Notre Dame looking out standpoint,
keeping the ACC together. I think that's what they've been trying to do already.
I don't. Or they want to go to the ACC though, not football. I don't think they got enough cachet. I don't think they got enough cachet.
The ACC is falling apart.
No, if Notre Dame didn't feel compelled enough in 2020,
Notre Dame believes that they can carry it by themselves, though.
But I don't know.
They're not going to the ACC.
Listen, in 2020, they said you have to play a conference schedule to be eligible for the championship. That was the perfect time for the ACC to say, look, you can't come in unless
you come in.
Yeah.
We got to back down to. We lost.
Coach, I froze up.
Froze.
We can hear you.
Okay,
there you go.
I just feel I did. It was me. Yeah.
Look, I agree with that.
I just feel like ACC.
That tells you how much Notre Dame has power, though, to not do it.
That's what I'm saying. And I think if they actually want. I think if they wanted to, they would have. They would have just like, you know what? Let's go take over the ACC. But they was like, no, man, y'all kind of like, y'all ain't on our level. That's really like how they look at it. Like, y'all ain't on our level, dog.
No.
We'll give you basketball. We'll give you basketball. I mean, that's fine.
I get it, man.
You're right.
Guys, I appreciate this. Everybody's got to get going out of here. Everybody, before you leave, tell everybody how to find you. Coach I, thank you for coming on as always. Tell us how to find your new show. And I'll get it. I'm going to have all that stuff in the description box as well. But tell us, everybody, how you go.
Right. Fan Addict right here. Fan Addict Sports on YouTube, IG, Twitter, Facebook. Y'all already know what it is. And then, again, I started a new channel, 365 Combo, with my guy, Shawty. We'll be doing our first show this Sunday at live stream at 9 p.m. Man, y'all make sure y'all check it out. 365 Combo. When you get on YouTube in the search, whatever, if you want to put it on the end of the URL, or the search box, just put at 365 Combo, all one word. You'll pick us up there, man. I'm working on some good interviews for the second show, but 2 sides with Shawty and Coach I. Hey, man. No host bar, so if you get offended easy, I don't know if that's a show for you because we don't keep it all the way 100. You know?
Must be 2 sides.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Good stuff. I'm excited for that one too, man. Hey, there's a lot of stuff coming up. We just started this one with SEC Mo. SEC Mo, remember to tell everybody how to find you there. We got to get up. Find him on
I am at Real SEC Mo. You can find me. I'm in the chat with y'all at Real SEC Mo on all platforms, man. And you can also find me at the Hog Wild Podcast if you want to get your Arkansas feel, because I'm still bleeding Razorback red at the end of the day. But hey, it's time to get some no cap SEC going, baby. So at Real SEC Mo, at Hog Wild Podcast, you can find me at both of those platforms. And like I say, hey, no cap in our rap, man. It's no cap SEC.
No cap, baby. Here we go. Shawty, tell us.
Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I say, man, shout out to the panel, man. I appreciate, the access and allowing me to be on here, man, and allowing me to be in myself. With that being said, you can find me on definitely on Wednesday nights, 9:30. Just My Damn Opinion. Also, just like Coach said, at 365, check us out. Two Sides. It's going to be a great show, man. Just tune in, man. Just check us out. Yeah, that's where you'll catch me at, man. I appreciate y'all allowing me on, man. It's been a great show.
Hey, Shawty.
Yes.
You know, I did not miss your face on here, but I missed the damn glasses.
Hey, now, can I say something? I want to give one shout out to Sooner, Texas. I see you, man. I know you've been checking out, man. I'm just gonna say appreciate the love, man. Shout out to Sooner, Texas, man.
The glasses mean their GG means go Gators. Oh man, 365 Convo, yes sir. Make sure to get in there and check that out. And
yep.
Hey, tell us where else. Obviously, you got the Just My Damn Opinion. We didn't hear your tagline there, did we? Did you say what you always say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, I'm just on YouTube on that. Just YouTube's on Wednesday nights at 9:30. Just My Damn Opinion, man. You know, that's, you know, I'm not very tech savvy, man. Coach trying to help me with this stuff, man.
It's all good. Your show's great. Hey, we enjoy. Man, last week was a wild ass show on Just My Damn Opinion. Just a good one, though. Love all this. Love all you guys. Thanks everybody for coming in to the show as well. Absolutely. We definitely be back here every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern time. That's 8:30 Central. Hey, this is the show where there's no capping. This SEC no cap. Thanks for coming in.
2024, baby.